Welcome to the media.
Yeah, look, let's just make something very quick and clear. The last time the Solicitor General came here and told you people that the defendants in this case have confessed to the crime, that is a lie. It's not true. No one confessed to a crime. There is a difference between confession to criminality, and making a point. Confession to the crime means the man is admitting to the crimes in the indictment that he committed the offense. That is not the case. What happened in this case is that there is a statutory function, or there were statutory functions that were carried out by the former Minister of Finance. That is under section 14.2 of the Public Finance Law. The law says that the Minister of Finance has the authority, statutory authority, to authorize payments that have been recommended by any of the branches of government within the budget or authorized within the budgetary laws of Liberia. And that is exactly what the Minister of Finance have done. And that payment was made to the appropriate administrative agency that was authorized at the level of the National Security Council by the President of Liberia at the time, His Excellency George Manawia. And so on the basis of this, no one should criminalize when the Solicitor General comes out and says that was confession. That's not confession. Confession is all of the allegations that have been made. Yes, we agree, we the one committed. No, there was no crime here. There was a statutory function that was carried out, and it had been criminalized. So we want to make that clear. If the Solicitor General agrees with what he said the last time, that the defendants are confessed to the crime, then why are we selecting jurors? So that is to tell you that what the Justice Ministry was intending to do at the time, we call a trial by TV and trial by Facebook. The perception is to get the perception of the sentiments of potential jurors who will be coming to come with the cloud of the mind to say that if you owe the people are confessed to the crime. There is no confession to crime. If there was confession to crime, we not select jurors. Today, there will be a date of sentencing. So that's not true. There was no criminality, and we still want to reiterate that the action of these defendants was a national security action. The actions of the defendants were national security actions and responsibilities that were carried out. Those actions that were carried out were statutory functions that were responsible to keep the stability of this country during the period of the elections. The peace we enjoy today was based on the statutory expression of the mandate of the Finance Minister being authorized by the National Security Council, which exists within the office of the President. Thank you. That's the character I wanted to make.
Good afternoon to you, wherever it is you are watching us from. This is Spoon TV. We're live here speaking with the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Augustine Faya. This is day one of the trial involving the former Finance Minister Samuel Twe and other co-defendants on charges ranging from economic sabotage to other charges as well. So today, we've been updated that 8 out of 15 jurors were selected. But to give us further updates and to speak to comments as well that were made by the defendant's lead counsel, Councillor Arthur Johnson, where after day one, he made a pronouncement out of the courtroom that, look, his client, the former Finance Minister, did not admit to any wrongdoing. All he did say was the procedures that were established at the time to dispense funds, especially relating to the National Security Council. But we have the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia. He's the government's lead prosecutor. Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you? Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to our offices.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Councillor Faya, you care to give us just a brief update on what, attained in court today, the one of the trial after the Supreme Court sent down its mandate for this trial to resume?
Well, officially by my training over the years, I'm not noted for discussing matter that comes from court. Matter from court, the journalist will be in a position to go to the court and receive the court file and discuss, or sit down as a general and take notes, which I respect you for. You always taking notes. But for me to come out to say a discuss matter that is before the court, it is not my practice. And the man who treated me may his soul rest in peace. Councillor David Jala, when we used to come from the court, you ask him for matter in court. He said, excuse me, go to the court and take the record. So I have been brought up in that manner in faction. But for the purpose of what obtained today, I think I need to clarify.
Yeah.
I am the Solicitor General. There's no doubt about it. I don't need to even go out to talk about anything so people don't know. I have been trained for their job, and I think I have never misbehaved. But let me say to you that today we have the jury selection, and that was very, very much done, perfectly done. We selected 9.
Councillor, can you please hold the microphone for us?
Yes, we selected 9, and we have 6 more to complete the panel, and we'll proceed with the trial. But I heard the councillor, my younger brother, the best brother that I love, talking about me, that I lie, that there are no admission, that they use the money, that is subject of the litigation. I have no business lying, but you know, in African parable, they have something, they say the tongue crier does not quote himself or does not quote herself. In this case, if Ada Johnson wants the clarity of the matter, all he need to do is to go a bit little back where he stood today to make the utterance that I'm a liar. Then he review himself what he said there. We came from the court, he said, these people use the money, but they use it for national security. Now, that is a myth. When you say people use the money for national security, there are rules controlling the usage of money for national security. If it is for electoral purposes, I serve as legal counsel for election. When we are having election, our budget at the election commission will capture security issue. The security issue like immigration, the police, and the other, that budget will be inculcated into the budgets of the election commission. So if they took the money and use the money, for what purpose? So when he say in his pleading, all of his pleading, that people use the money, but they use it for the purpose of security, national security. But who are those that took their money from national security? I don't want to go into the detail because the judge that will be full, I can tell you, you're no nonsense judge. I'm really afraid that we may not even be here in contempt of court for discussing matters that before the court. But the fact that the guy says I'm a liar, I have to clear myself. I'm under pressure by my team to clear myself. So how is it a lie? Look at his pleading. All he pleading, he said they use the money, but they use it for national security issue. What is it I want the national security issue? What is it? No whatsoever. So that why I made a statement, they took the money and used it on themselves.
And you still stand by that?
I still stand by the statement. And not me seeing it, they said it.
Okay.
They said it at the court below there, the lawyer said it. And you know, in law, admission from the party himself or the legal counsel hired by the party is superior in law. Superior admission. So we have seen, we should not worry about this matter. The matter is not done. The matter will be discussed and discussed properly. The only thing I can assure him is there is no play for them to have. All of the defendants, no hidden play anymore. They went to the Supreme Court, they said their money here, we use it for national security. The court does not see it like that. The court say they did not use it for national security. So where they will go, I said they go to court. I'm not too sure God is willing to hold them because what they did is very, very detestable. God will reject them, so you'll go and answer your, you know, why you go there.
Do you still stand, this is my last question because you only wanted to make a clarity to speak to that, but do you still stand by your words that this would be the shortest economic sabotage trial in Liberia's history?
Prove me wrong by looking at the time from today to when the case will end.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
All right, sir.
Because I can assure you, when there is a truth, that which is truth, it's easy to be told. It's easy to be told. We present our case and let them come and they say, I'm sure they will use the same system, Article 61. And that one, if they use it in court, they will boo themselves. Nobody will boo them, they will boo themselves. They will, oh, we lie. Because Supreme Court will not support them, and that court will not support them. So what they did is a simple theft. Simple theft. the best thing they can do, they hire experienced lawyer, go and pay that money quietly, or else they will stand the chances of paying the money and going to jail.
So is the state willing to have that settlement if they go and make reparations?
That they are business to do. If they want to offer that, we'll review it and see whether we can accept that.
Okay,
so for anyone to think that you will take that kind of money, put it in your pocket, and your pocket is swelling up, and you think you will go free, not by sight. Not by sight.
Thank you.
They will have to restitute that money, and the better they can do. I see my pure lawyer with them. I see a lawyer who don't even believe in what Other Johnson talking about me charging doubt. I'm a liar. I'm not a liar. He must go. Thank God of not quote himself. In fact, he pleading are demonstrative of what he have exhibited, that the people took the money and they used the money for national security. There was nothing called national security. Nothing. They took it and used it. They ate the money. They ate the money big time. And so they will pay big time.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Any other comment before we wrap up? Any other thing you want to say to the librarian?
This is what I want to say.
Yeah.
And this to be statement that will go forth for all of us. Service in government. Service in government is a calling that is elevated. It's an elevated calling. You are elevated to do the job that you are called to do. If any of all think that we come in government to become millionaire, to make money, and money that we can't imagine, it's a dream twice. It's a dream twice. It's time, it's not time that people should use. So the corruption is a very terrible enemy. You will see in history that corruption has killed more than Civil War, more than all the war. These are things that have destroyed the entire African continent and even some of the developed countries. Corruption to be fought by all peace-loving people. So that's the message I have for everybody. People should work and live within their means. Not to go out and take everything that belongs to people, put it in your pocket, then you say national security. They will cry and cry no more. They will be made to pay for the money.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So folks, there you have it. The solicitor stands this trial.
What gave you the courage?
Patriotism.
I can see you with that flag.
This is why I stay holding up to it. And this flag, this ground is for this flag.
Why do you feel so much entitled to this land?
Because this is my ancestors' place. My great-grandparents were born in Liberia. Ome Chukle Bungo, Ngeya, Chingu were born here. And my father was born here. Mr. Leopo Nke Bungo was born here. I was born here. I was reared up here. I came back here to speak my vernacular, which is the Kisi. Knowing myself as a Liberian, they paid me in Liberia. I will not let no other country to take this place. This is why I sacrificed my life. I said we sacrifice our life with everything we will do to make sure that this place, Guinea will never take this place.
So, what evidence do you have? Like, I heard you talking about having sugarcane farm here.
Yeah, the steam made blocks and the cement where we used to have the block, but they looted it. It was owned by my uncle Omen Falakwe Bungo.
So this is a sugarcane farm for the Liberian?
Yeah. This place is ours. I think I was just trying to explain something to somebody, but when we were small here. A helicopter team used to leave from Monrovia to come here every day. They used to learn all the Mount Tokawo. They used to learn. They spent 2 weeks doing survey up there. They dug a big pit over there. And they cement in the pit and wrote certain things. And you dig this place, you see it. It was small boys. So I know very well this land is my land. This land for Liberia. This land is not for Guinea. And we're not allow anybody in Guinea to take this land. Only Liberian.
All right. So the last time when they came, what prompted you? I mean, how were you able to get to the nearby town? But just
well, we got the news, we got the info. When they came, when the honorable minister and our chief of staff came, they went across. We stayed the whole day waiting for them. They came with the result, and the result was satisfactory to some of us. What they explained, they said they wanted to engage the process diplomatically. But one thing I will tell you, the group across there don't know diplomacy. So the next day, while we were around, we just saw men coming in, their armed men coming in, They disguised their army in the Kino. As soon as they came from the Kino, they started taking various positions, imposed on position. They walked in. And how we came, I would tell them, well, I walked. The commander Mervin, the immigration commander Mervin, and I, we engaged in our behavior because they wanted to go further. So when they were claiming, Mervin, I would say, but I asked them, I said, gentlemen, but what are you people coming to do here? Luckily, most of them, some of them were Kissy. I asked them, what are you people coming to do here in Kissy? What are you people coming to do on this soil? This soil ain't belong to you. Because the last meeting, our honorable minister, our chief of staff here, with you people in Kwekedu, they came and explained to us, they said everybody should hold their peace. They will handle it diplomatically. But what gave you people the courage coming in on the Liberian soil? And besides coming on the Liberian soil, you came with arms. What gave you the courage to come on our land with arms? How we engaged in, I said we mobile men, we started engaging, embarrassing, and they couldn't go further and start coming down. We managed to have them going, they crossed and went back. But we're going for again that were coming by the next day, which they did. Soon that morning, we were all around post. We slept there. 2 nights were on guard, they're surveillance. So after that, the next morning, we saw them, they came heavily armed again, but most of the boys had gone back. So I saw them digging. They all rooted our flag, the pole, because the flag was not there again. They all rooted the pole. After they all rooted the pole, they started digging. I started to ask myself, but what is really happening to us? What is happening to Liberia? What is happening? What did Guineans see to us? This is why I asked the question, how can I be older and you didn't show me demarcation? So when they did it, when they planted the poles, they started sending the van. I came down with tears, just what I said. And I walk up, call my kingsmen. I started talking. We sent messages, sent motorcyclists, they went around, informing people. People came. When we came, when the people came, we all there were in group. So that's how we start jamming it up small, jamming it up small, jamming it up small. We were able, because I must admit, you got armed. You're not armed, you had to be afraid. So I got a little frightened. But after we saw we were many, we jammed them, we were positioned at 2-3, 1 armed man to 2-3, 4 Liberian. We knew, we built up the confidence that anything happened, they will fire their own officers. So we built that confidence that anything happened, it will happen. So we start engaging and start telling them, put your flag down. You put your flag down. So after that, when they refused to put the flag down, all of them gathered under that flagpole with their 3 GMG men in this particular Palawa hall. So we found out, we said, okay, but then the best thing we can do for ourselves, we'll host our flag. This is how we brought the flagpole. I produced the flag, I produced the first flag. We tie it, we pull rope for rope, we pull the pole up, we sang our national anthem, we started our pledge, our Liberian pledge, and we felt confident in ourselves because we felt our flag was bowed while their flag was standing. So when they saw the momentum, the heat from us, more men started putting, they gave up.
So I mean, this is something that we haven't heard. So since you were born here and grew up here, from the time you were coming out, has there been any problem between those across there and that of you guys back here?
Well, when it comes to problem between ourselves,
in terms of land, maybe farmland.
Yeah, this land, this island. This island belongs to this town called Man. We are Delicate Island. What our father told us, Man people were the people that own this land. And after certain time, they used to farm there up to Torbot town, part of Dotan. But when the military government started coming in, they pushed our people off from there. They said, you see the water? The main vein is on the side. So they put an argument that send the main vein is on the side, the island for them. Well, our country put compromise that. I don't know how they compromise it, but we level with them. Besides that, I was small again here. Confusion came here, Superintendent Thomas Brahma, Commissioner Stephen Kimber, with the military detachment that were in Kolang. They came here on the program here also again, on the same tension here. So today is not the first time. Guinea have been pushing for this.
So, can you remember some of those years that you're talking about?
Yeah, that was in the Thomas Brahma, that was in the 70s, the late 70s, 78, I think.
Since the 70s, this is the first time this is happening?
Yeah, this is the first time happening.
But how was the first one resolved?
Well, that Superintendent came back in the court, the officials, they sat on the paper, younger men were very far, was just a labor. So no sure, man. They just talk their thing, talking, and came out, went back. And that had the dollar gate was created. Because the argument, they said the water for them. Came back and Superintendent Brahman said, and Commissioner came back, said, no, the water didn't belong to you, but the water devours. Said the water for all of us. So, but then since you're collecting pool for crossing, then we establish our own dollar gate so that we can be getting a revenue. That will agree upon, and that particular how you call it, particular checkpoint was established in my town, Solomon, right up there, the bigger town in front there. But afterward, everything dissolved.
Finally, before we take leave of you, of recent we saw this tension. Prior to this tension, was there any exchanges of maybe confrontation with citizens from that side before the Guineans decided to come this way?
No. If anything happened, no.
Are you also have you any idea like you have company from Liberia mining on the river?
When I heard about a company taking sand, carrying on construction. You know, there are some.
There was no crossing, there was no invasion from the Guinean authority. Yes.
So you being the commander here, what was the first interaction with your other security from across?
Okay. It was 4 days ago when they came. That when interacted with them. They came about 42 men, were armed. So they came, according to them, that they came for peace talk.
Okay.
So I told them, but you can't come for peace talk and you are in armed. You know there's an armed embargo for the 3 countries, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. So you cannot come for peace talk, you well loaded with arms. If you will enter, my authority has to be in the know. So I decided to place a call to the country commander, letting him know about what unfolding. And even video clip them and sent it to him. So he and the team leader were able to even talk. So he said no, under no condition that these people can come for peace, according to them, with armed. So I told them, I said, well, you're holding from the horses now. So for me, I'm not going to let you to pass it. So they insisted that they want to reach to our office. I said, no. You cannot reach to my office with the arm. You start right up the hill. Any other peace discussion until my authority can give me the go ahead. But we remain calm, we remain patient, and about an hour or so, we've been holding and pulling up the hill there. And I told them, you can pass, you can cross. So, by the help of God, all were able to see or reason, and they went back. So for that day, they never entered. The second day, when you look, they enter through here. 4 men enter first. That were not armed. So when they came, they decided to do their communication. So they saw I and my deputy. So they started to place a call to their own head across. That, oh, we are here. The people are not armed. The commander is here and the deputy. Because people across there or people from here, whosoever have already been given the information. So for that reason, it stated that what's operation they came on, they can execute it because no armed man is around. So no people started coming. Then I saw the pool, a long pool. Then I saw cement bag. So I called my country once more to let him know. I said, this is why we're fooling. So they said we should stay, remain calm. They only want patrol evidence. So that's what I started doing. So until they planted their poles, they raised their flag, and I was here with them throughout. We remain calm. When the citizen came, we tried to talk to the citizen. So I make a call. I said, but the citizens are here. They are not happy about what's going on. So for 1 or 2 reasons, the citizens were able to overcome us as we. And I previously stated that we were not armed here. So we had no option. So they told us, but then you'll fall back. So we went back to our head office.
The citizen asked you to fall back?
No. Our head.
Okay.
Say, because now above us. So long the citizens have taken over, and you know the youth, talking about 400-500 men. So how we went back to our headquarters, and the citizens, they were news that went out. But there was nothing like firing or somebody came to fire somebody here.
So,
arm.
Yesterday we got a report that somebody got shot.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, do you care to tell us if you have any idea as to how it happened?
Yeah, that was on Singapore. As now we speak, you look right across there, you will see him in the tree. He stayed in the tree there. Okay. That is on Singapore. The men that came here with 50 caliber, they came here with RPGs and things. After they deploy. See the kitchen there? This is where they are planning to make their base. They brought their planks, that particular structure.
So they brought those planks and put it?
No. They brought it. They wanted to demolish that place to make their headquarters there. That's where the citizens said, no, it can't work. So they took all that flag away that they crossed with, and from there they went and they removed their flag, the citizen, the concerned citizen.
All right, just in case, before we take leave of you, what is your own message? Because we know that some of the citizens are now leaving the community. What is your message to them as security?
Yeah, my message is everything have remained calm and peace have been restored. The long-awaited supporter unit that we were depending on, they have come, and our prayer have been backed. So the citizens are urged them to come back and start panicking. Our own people are here now to protect us. So let us stop carrying the news, oh, the people have crossed, the people shooting. No, nothing like that.
All right, thank you. See your name again?
I'm Officer Melvin S.R. Solomon Port Commander.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
So,
Thank you.
it's been like 4 days. I mean, you've not been able to come here. I'm sure you got something to tell the.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on location where you are joining us from. Next time, we'd like to say welcome to BKS TV and welcome to the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we see dialogue and our confrontation. We see words and bullets. My name is Junior Payne, your regular host of the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. The Heat Hour comes to you every Monday through Sunday, beginning at 8 o'clock Liberia time to wee hours. Today is the 12th day of March, AD 2026, and today having to be Thursday. So we say thank God today is Thursday. Well, in tonight's edition of the show, we'll be discussing a lot of cardinals issue across Liberia today. During the election process in the most anticipated economic sabotage case is ongoing. 8 out of 15 jurors were selected today. And after the jury selection process, the counselor representing the defendants spoke with the media. He made some allegations, and those allegations were cleared up by the counselor representing the government. The Solicitor General of Liberia, Augustine Faya, also made some clarity to as well. We'll be playing the both recordings here tonight on the show, and we'll be diving into them lengthily to discuss what is unfolding with that issue too as well. The Civil Service Agency, CSA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government, formerly the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and with technical and logistical support from the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, has commenced a nationwide personnel and credential verification exercise targeting employees of the Ministry of Local Government. We will also be diving into that here too tonight on the show. Latest development, let me try to get it for you here. Still verse. The National Election Commissioner of Liberia, Madam, stay with us. The National Election Commissioner of Liberia, Madam Davietta Brown Lasana, announces her resignation from the National Election Commission as chairperson on March 15. According to her, she has already communicated this with the president and she will be resigning soon. Alleged information receiving is a former Chief Justice of Liberia, Councillor Gloria Musu Scott, will be appointed as the chairperson of the National Election Commission in Liberia. We're still bringing you up this here too. This is from the Ministry of Information. A high-level Liberian delegation is expected to depart for Guinea within the next 24 hours to engage Guinea authorities. This mission continues the Liberia-Guinea dialogue initiated at the border shortly before the recent Guinea incursion into Liberian territory 2 days ago. That's from Minister P.A., the Information Minister of Liberia. And so without further ado, let me bring on our folks here tonight. The CEO is in the back. Mr. Aloysius Alexander Tente Jr. is watching us from Canada. Aloysius, welcome to the show. The CEO is also here. Mr. Sam Saras Bali is here. Sam, good evening and welcome to the show here this evening. How is your end, Chief?
Junior, so far so good. Everything's going so good. I mean, good at this point. I haven't been out hold on today. I've been in here. Nothing much to do. But so far so good. It's good to be here to speak to our people again.
It's great to have you on here tonight, Mr. Sam. Wonderful to have you here tonight. The Joint Security Forces of Liberia are now stationed at the Solomba Port of Entry in Foya, Lofa County, after those days of healthy border tension in Foya. We will be discussing that here too as well. But if you follow the news today in Liberia, the jury selection process in their economic sabotage case involving former Finance Minister of Liberia, Samuel Tuah, and others began today. A lot to unpack about that, but please bear with me. Let me play you the two videos from the two counselors that are representing the defendant and that of the prosecution, and we can have our say on it, Mr. Sam. This is a very interesting case. At first, information that we gathered was that Samuel Tuah and others confessed to the crime. But according to his lawyer today, his lawyer said there were nothing like confession to any crime. And the information carried around by the Solicitor General of Liberia is false and misleading. He also said if there were any confession, there wouldn't have been jury selection that began today. So he left it with the public to be the judge in that direction. And indeed, as a code of public opinion and a media institution, we are also here to discuss the pros and cons. We might not be knowledgeable or worth of knowledge to all of the happenings, but we are here to give you the different things that are happening in Liberia. So if you're watching us, we want to say welcome to the show. Tell us in the comment section where you're watching us from, and let's be able to recognize you here too as well. I'm still trying to get the both videos here. A bit of us still trying to get it. Yeah, I played earlier on. I played them earlier on. So again, folks, if you're just joining us here tonight, you're listening to the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we see a dialogue and a confrontation. We see words in a bullet. In tonight's edition of the show, we have Mr. Sam Cyrus Ballier. Mr. Sam is a member from the Unity Party, the CMC, the Alternative National Congress, and all of the political party in Liberia. He got a Bible that says, where the sun shines and where you can hang your clothes. So he believed in that parable. Now that the sun is shining at the Unity Party headquarters or the Unity Party camp, we can safely say that he's a Unity partisan. Without any prejudice, we can say he's a Unity partisan, and we will not be hearing any contempt for that. Well, Cyrus, I really want to get the defense recording first before I play the prosecution. I'm finding it a little bit difficult to lay my hands on it here. Just bear with me for a few seconds as I try to get it for our followers and those that are listening to tonight. Great. Here is it. Cyrus. Let me play from the defense counsel. Then we can play the prosecution side of the interview. Then we'll be able to discuss it to have knowledge about the issue. Still with us and keep sharing the show tonight.
Very quick and clear. The last time the Solicitor General came here and told you people that the defendants in this case have confessed to the crime, That is a lie. It's not true. No one confessed to a crime. There is a difference between confession to criminality, and making a point. Confession to the crime means the man is admitting to the crimes in the indictment that he committed the offense. That is not the case. What happened in this case is that there is a statutory function, or there were statutory functions that were carried out by the former Minister of Finance. That is under section 14.2 of the Public Finance Law. The law says that the Minister of Finance has the authority, statutory authority, to authorize payments that have been recommended by any of the branches of government within the budget or authorized within the budgetary laws of Liberia. And that is exactly what the Minister of Finance have done. And that payment was made to the appropriate administrative agency that was authorized at the level of the National Security Council by the President of Liberia at the time, His Excellency George Manneh Weah. And so on the basis of this, no one should criminalize when the Solicitor General comes out and says that was confession. That's not confession. Confession is all of the allegations that have been made, yes, we agree, we the one committed. No, there was no crime here. There was a statutory function that was carried out and it had been criminalized. So we want to make that clear. If the Solicitor General agrees with what he said the last time, that the defendants are confessed to the crime, then why are we selecting jurors? So that is to tell you that what the Justice Minister was intending to do at the time, we call a trial by TV and trial by Facebook. The perception is to get the perception of the sentiments of potential jurors who will be coming to come with the cloud of the mind to say that if you the people are confessed to the crime. There is no confession to crime. If there was confession to crime, we will not select jurors. Today, there will be a date of sentencing. So that's not true. There was no criminality, and we still want to reiterate that the action of these defendants was a national security action. The actions of the defendants were national security actions and responsibilities that were carried out. Those actions that were carried out were statutory functions that were responsible to keep the stability of this country during the period of the elections. The peace we enjoy today was based on the statutory expression of the mandate of the Finance Minister being authorized by the National Security Council, which exists within the office of the President. Thank you. That's the character I wanted to make.
Well, Sam, that's from the defense side. And the next video we are about to play is from the prosecution side. I hope you listen to them, then you'll be able to make your input here too as well. Real Biafra TV is watching us. Welcome to the show. We are Real Biafra TV. We recognize you too as well. Here is it from the Solicitor General of Liberia, representing the government in this case. We go for this, and when we come back, we dive into the issue here too tonight.
Other co-defendants on charges ranging from economic sabotage to other charges as well. So today, we've been updated that 8 out of 15 jurors were selected. But to give us further updates and to speak to comments as well that were made by the defendant's lead counsel, Councillor Arthur Johnson, where after day one, he made a pronouncement out of the courtroom that, look, his client, the former finance minister, did not admit to any wrongdoing. All he did say was the procedures that were established at the time to dispense funds, especially relating to the National Security Council. But we have the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia. He's the government's lead prosecutor. Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you? Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to our offices.
Thank you, thank you. So, Councillor Fire, you care to give us just a brief update on what attained in court today, day one of the trial after the Supreme Court sent down its mandate for this trial to resume?
Well, officially by my training over the years, I'm not noted for discussing matter that comes from court. Matter from court, the journalists will be in a position to go to the court and receive the court file and discuss, or sit down as a journalist and take notes, which I respect you for. You're always taking notes. But for me to come out to say I discuss matter that is before the court, it is not my practice. And the man who treated me in his soul rest in peace, Councillor David Jala, when we used to come from the court, you ask him for matter in court, he said, excuse me, go to the court and take the record. So I have been brought up in that manner in faction. But for the purpose of what obtained today, I think I need to clarify.
Yeah.
I am the Solicitor General. There's no doubt about it. I don't need to even go out to talk about anything so people don't know. I have been trained for their job, and I think I have never misbehaved. But let me say to you that today we have the jury selection, and that was very, very much done, perfectly done. We selected 9.
Councillor, can you please hold the microphone for us?
Yes. We selected 9, and we have 6 more to complete the panel, and we'll proceed with the trial. But I heard the counselor, my younger brother, the best brother that I love, talking about me, that I lie, that there are no admission, that they use the money, that is subject of the litigation. I have no business lying, but in African parable, they have something, they say the tongue crier does not quote himself or does not quote herself. In this case, if Ada Johnson wants the clarity of the matter, all he need to do is to go a bit little back where he stood today to make the utterance that I'm a liar. Then he review himself what he said there. We came from the court, he said, these people use the money, but they use it for national security. Now, that is a myth. When you say people use the money for national security, there are rules controlling the usage of money for national security. If it is for electoral purposes, I serve as legal counsel for election. When we are having election, our budget at the election commission will capture security issue. The security issue like immigration, the police, and the border, that budget will be inculcated into the budgets of the election commission. So if they took the money and use the money, for what purpose? So when he say in his pleading, all of his pleading, that people use the money, but they use it for the purpose of security, national security. But who are those that took their money for national security? I don't want to go into the detail because the judge that will be full, I can tell you, you're no nonsense judge. I'm really afraid that we may not even be here in contempt of court for discussing matters that before the court. But the fact that the guy says I'm a liar, I have to clear myself. I'm under pressure by my team to clear myself. So how is it a lie? Look at his pleading. All he pleading, he said they use the money, but they use it for national security issue. What is it I want the national security issue? What is it? No whatsoever. So that why I made a statement, they took the money and used it on themselves.
And you still stand by that?
I still stand by the statement. And not me seeing it, they said it.
Okay.
They said it at the court below there, the lawyer said it. And in law, admission from the party himself or the legal counsel hired by the party is superior in law. Superior admission. So we have seen, we should not worry about this matter. The matter is not down. The matter will be discussed and discussed properly. The only thing I can assure him is there is no play for them to have. All of the defendants, no hidden play anymore. They went to the Supreme Court, they said their money here, we use it for national security. The court does not see it like that. The court said they did not use it for national security. So where they will go, I said they go to court. I'm not too sure court is willing to hold them because what they did is very, very detestable. Court will reject them, so you'll go and answer your, why you go there.
Do you still stand, this is my last question because you only wanted to make a clarity to speak to that, but do you still stand by your words that this would be the shortest economic sabotage trial in Liberia's history?
Prove me wrong by looking at the time from today to when the case will end.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
All right, sir.
Because I can assure you, when there is a truth, that which is truth, it's easy to be told. It's easy to be told. We present our case and let them come and they say, I'm sure they will use the same system, Article 61. And that one, if they use it in court, they will boo themselves. Nobody will boo them, they will boo themselves. Say, oh, we lie. Because Supreme Court will not support them, and that court will not support them. So what they did is a simple theft. Simple theft. The best thing they can do, they hire experienced lawyer. Go and pay that money quietly. Or else, they will stand the chances of paying the money and going to jail.
So is the state willing to have that settlement if they go and make reparations?
That they are basically to do. If they want to offer that, we'll review it and see whether we can accept that.
Okay,
so for anyone to think that you will take that kind of money, put it in your pocket, and your pocket is swelling up, and you think you will go free, not by sight. Not by sight.
Thank you.
They will have to restitute that money, and the better they can do. I see my pure lawyer with them. I see a lawyer who don't even believe in what Other Johnson talking about me cladding doubt. I'm a liar. I'm not a liar. He must go. Time quiet of not quote himself. In fact, he pleading are demonstrative of what he have exhibited, that the people took the money and they used the money for national security. There was nothing called national security. Nothing. They took it and used it. They ate the money. They ate the money big time. And so they will pay big time.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Any other comment before we wrap up? Any other thing you want to say to the librarian?
This is what I want to say.
Yeah.
And this to be statement that you go for all of us. Service in government. Service in government is a calling that is elevated. It's an elevated calling. You are elevated to do the job that you are called to do. If any of all think that we come in government to become millionaires, to make money, and money that we can't imagine, it's a dream twice. It's a dream twice. It's a time, it's not time that people should use. So the corruption is a very terrible enemy. You will see in history that corruption has killed more than Civil War, more than all the war. These are things that have destroyed the entire African continent and even some of the developed countries. Corruption to be fought by all peace-loving people. So that's the message I have for everybody. People should work and live within their means. Not to go out and take everything that belongs to people, put it in your pocket, then you say national security. They will cry and cry no more. They will be.
And so that's it, folks. We want to say welcome back to the show here at VEX. We've gone 47 minutes into our show time. Mr. Sam, you listen to the two councillors. You listen to Councillor Arthur Johnson. You also listen to the Solicitor General of Liberia, who is representing the state in this case. And you listen to those things said. I have few questions for all of us to answer on the show here tonight. One, do the state have sufficient evidence to prosecute this case? Two, I know you want to come in. This is a political case. Now, what other mechanism are they putting in place when it comes to the jury selection process? And how did we come from the fact that the defendants have confessed to the crime to the defendants have not confessed to the crime? How did we leave from those stages? Let's hear you. Let's welcome to the show this evening. See you, Alvin Sekas Jr. Welcome. Sam, let's start with you on this issue in the first round.
I want to welcome you before I go to Sam.
We welcome you.
A unique woman and Dana. Dana has to wait for Dana to talk before Dana can talk.
You brought GB?
It's funny. I was following GB. I was following GB, when I came on the show, my camera off. I was getting ready for it. Yeah, but thank you though. I'm glad to be back. I'll listen to everything. We'll let Sam go and then we can. As our brother Chris can say, we could dive into everything here tonight.
Yeah. So Sam, let's hear you. The defense and the defense counsel said the action of the defendant were national security action. In so doing, they are not supposed to be prosecuted for that. Let's hear you what say you on this issue.
Well, so Junior, again, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank our listeners and viewers across the globe. So let's take it step by step. Number one, jury selection. Like I always said on the show, jury selection is a big process and it's a tough process. In a small country like Liberia, where everyone apparently, I want to believe that everyone has listened to this case or knows about this case somehow, some way. I am not really sure how the jury process would be credible in a country like Liberia, because some of the questions that they always ask is, do you have knowledge? Questions for the jury selection process, those are some of the questions. Do you have knowledge on this case? Have you heard anything on this case? Do you know the person that is being prosecuted? So all these questions, I don't know. As some other juror would say yes or no to it, I do not know. But however, it's Liberia, it's a small country. Whatever way the process works, that's fine. I listened to Councillor Ato. He's a very good counselor. He usually debate cases and stuff. But in this case, the tune, I listened to the tune carefully. It seems to me, or it appears to me, there's an underlying clarity that he needs to make. Talking blah, 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 blah. At this point, I'm not sure if it's going to help. And I listened to the tune of the Solicitor General. I think he's very calm. It seems to me like he has a credible case, because he used the word that people come into government to enrich themselves. This point, let me speak directly to the people in government. This time around, it will not work. He sent a direct message to even those that are serving right now in government. So it seems to me, or it appears to me, like he has a credible case against and this defendant. It also appears to me that he has enough evidence to prove his case, because they are past the stage now of evidences and stuff. They are going to jury selection, so it means something will happen unless the jury undermine this case. Other than that, if they are really fairly selected and really want to work for Liberia, we will see a result soon. But with a tune, I'm pretty sure he has a strong case against the defendant.
Here is said though, from the start of this trial, the prosecution was saying that the defendants have admitted to the crime, so there is no case here. How did we leave from the fact of defendant admitting to the crime to jury selection process? And now he's putting a deal before them. He's calling for a plea bargaining with the defendant, saying that maybe they can pay the money behind the scene, and afterwards they will know what to say with that. Do you think someone that has a case will be the first to announce plea bargaining in the public?
Well, it could be something that the defense team came away, but at some point in time they realized that it's not a way forward, and they find some kind of law to back then, and they can also back up. You can go into plea bargaining, Junior. You can go into plea bargaining, And when you know that your way, you got a strong case too, you can retreat. You can also say no. We'll continue the case. So to them, they believe that they have a case, so they can afford the pre-bargaining and go the way they want to go. So it does not mean that the guy lying, or I'm not sure, maybe lying, I don't know, but I'm sure that it can happen. You can get into a plea bargaining, and then along the way you realize that no, you got some evidence. You can also come back and reverse.
So Sam, from the prosecution side, they are calling for a plea bargaining. They, from the recording that I listened to from the Solicitor General, he said the only way out for the defendant is maybe they can go behind the scene and pay the money. And the journalist asked him, if they do that, will you accept? He said, if they do
No,
it,
he said it on the
maybe-
condition, Junior. He
yeah,
said,
he said if they do it, maybe we will have some kind of condition to that. But bear
Right.
in mind, he was the first to mention that. Said it on TV. He said, if they pay the money, then we know what to do moving forward. So someone who has a very strong case, do you think they would be the first to mention plea bargaining in the public?
no. So this is the thing. We don't know what is happening or unfolding behind the scene. Maybe there are a lot of things that, when it comes to a case like this, a lot of suggestion and opinion and everything's coming out. People just trying to say, is it possible to say this? Those are tactics that you can use in law. And I mean, if you can intimidate your your opponent in a case, okay, you can get offered. I mean, if you think that you committed a crime, you can get into pre-bargaining. Or if not, we can move forward. All those things can be said to make sure that the direction that will be possible for you. But then when you say yes, then they catch you. So this case, I can say, I listened to the Solicitor General. I think in my mind, he was calm and relaxed in our short interview. So I'm thinking that something is good on his side.
So this is my last question before we go to the CEO. My last question to you. Liberia, people who uses the social media, I would say 88% of them, this is not a real statistics, I'm just assuming something. 88% of them lived in Monrovia. Looking at this case as a highly political case, don't you think it was necessary enough to have had a transfer of the case to another county where it's believed that many of those jurors that will be selected from that area will have no knowledge about the case, instead of having it in Monrovia where almost all of the citizens there knows about this case, and almost all of the people there are all politically aligned with a political party?
Well, Junior, again, where you would take case in Liberia that the jury will not know. Even in a coffee shop, the people always talking about politics. Even in the GB shop, everybody talking about politics. Wherever in Liberia that you take, even you go to LaGuardia, put an entry, they say talk about politics. So what I see here is that moving a case where this particular case, moving it will not help. The case that I think moving it will help is the Capitol building case. That is really a tough political case. But when it comes to economic crime, Junior, I don't think it's really, really highly political. If the Solicitor General believes that he has enough evidence to overcome this case or against the defendant, there's no need to even move it to anywhere. But in the case that I think it's necessary to move it from in Monrovia to another location because of the safety is the Capitol building case.
Thank you very much. CEO, welcome. Let's hear you on this issue. What say you about it?
So my take on this is I think this case we should hold on to rendering prejudgment and then prosecuting this case in the court of public opinion. I think that's going to be unfair to our people. It's going to be risky. I think we should allow the legal process take its course. Um, if the prosecutor believe they have all the evidence to be able to convict the former finance minister, let them present it and make their case before the court and the jurors. And then the same goes with the defendant. If the defense, has evidence to show that that client is innocent, let them present that and let the court decide. I think we should avoid, prosecuting this whole case in the public court of opinion. That's my take. I think it's a political case. It's a political case. There's no question about it. In everywhere we live, in the world we live in, even in the U.S. or anywhere you go, whenever there's a change in leadership, government, and then followed by persecution of former government officials, inherently people, even if it's fact or not, people will start questioning the intent of the persecution, right? The other side may label this as a political persecution, while others may warrant that as a fair persecution. Liberia has always we've struggled over the years when it comes to financial transparency. People go there, become government official. Again, I'm not casting conviction on anyone here, but that's where the country is coming from. People go there as government official, they'll do their thing, and then they eat their elephant meat, eat their own, and then leave. When that happens, our people then stay there. Nothing really happens after that. So when people who have been used to seeing those things, seeing former finance minister being in court, they like that. Then on the other side, other people may, like I said earlier, they may consider this as witch hunt and political persecution. So that's the thing about it. Now, the finance minister and his defense, they are saying that the funds were used for national security. Now, when prosecuting this, I don't know what evidence they have, what's the details. Again, we can't really speak to that in detail because we don't know everything they have. From the surface or from the broader point, to say it was used for national security spending. Now, was there something there that they had to do it instantly to avoid certain things, or all our national security spending is that something that is supposed to be public? I know the NSA does certain things that the public doesn't know about. What type of national security spending was it? That way, the whole prosecution will come into play. This is where everything is going to play out, and the judge will have to allow what evidence to be presented in the court, and then the jurors will be able to make that call. But overall, I think it's a tough thing when you look at it from other vantage point. Yes, people who are alleged to be corrupt, who took money from the government and from the people of Liberia, if it's not done the right way, should be held accountable for that. But on the other hand, we should be very careful before it be labeled as political witch hunt. So that's my take on that. Now, as far as what the plea bargain and what the solicitor, I don't know what his role is, what he's doing, it's common. It happens all the time. The prosecutor will play the tactics and try to get the other side to budge, even if they have to make them come to the table and try to settle things behind the scene. It happens. I've watched a lot of legal cases that happens. But now, who got the evidence? Yeah, who's right? And I think the defense, the former finance minister, I think they should stand their ground, go to court, go through all the evidence they have, because if the prosecutor claimed they have all the evidence, the man has admitted to this and all that stuff, and then you trying to request plea bargain behind the scene, and that becomes something that you would think that starts questioning that amount of evidence they have. Because if they have all the so-called evidence, they are the ruling, they are the prosecutor, they are the state, and they have all that, they should not even be pushing for that. I think the defense, on the other hand, if they should be the one pushing for it, man, I don't. The defense, the lawyer for the former finance minister is the lawyer. If he sees that everything is not correct, he will be on the other side there pushing and saying, man, the thing is not going to end good. Let's try to cut a deal in the back. But they're coming, publicly denying everything, making that case, and then the prosecutor saying different thing on the side. So it's going to be interesting. We look forward to seeing it. As far as the jury selection, yeah, that's Liberia for you. We can't question that. We're not supposed to question that. We trust our judicial system. We believe, we hope that they will do the right thing to be able to bring justice to the whole thing. But overall, the venue, I agree with Junior. The venue, that's Monrovia. But again, I don't. It's like you said, like Sam said, that's a big case. You carry Bay Vonwit, it will still be politicized. So, like it or not, it's a political case. It's going to be politicized from the start to the finish. The verdict, everything's going to be questioned.
Thank you, CEO. Now, here is my thought on this whole issue. The defense are saying, yes, indeed, we spend this money. They are not hiding the fact. They say we spend it, and we spend it on national security during the election. And now, the prosecution is saying the money was not intended for that purpose. So we will prosecute you for that. You will pay back the money. I'm afraid. Which one of the national security? It said NSA. If the money was spent on NSA, as we all know, NSA operation in Liberia is very, very secret and nobody knows about it. If this case goes to trial as it is going and jury selection process start, the defense will purposely put NSA to the stand as a witness to testify. And you know what happened there? If the defense is calling on NSA to testify on the stand, then it means all the secret there will come outside. All the way money have been spent in our place, everything will come outside. So the defense are not hiding anything here. They say, yeah, we use the money, but we use it for XYZ purpose. And I mean, this is a really, really, really difficult case that it might bring a lot of things outside of some entities. People are looking at it to be like Samuel Tuer issue, he's corrupt, he's this. But if the fact is established as they are going, this is the tactic of defense always. When they know that the case is not there, they always throw you under the bus as prosecution. And now you're the ruling party. You got all of the documents in your possession. You know how NSA spending has been done in Liberia. So if they call NSA to the stand, it will get difficult. It will get part of. Things will be said. In this case, will turn around from being economic sabotage case with few individuals to being national security documents being leaked out to the public. Because of what will happen. The next thing you will start seeing is the bank transaction and everything will start coming outside. XYZ amount of this money was spent to go to Lufa County. XYZ amount of this money was spent to go to Nima. XYZ was spent to do this. So all of those things will come outside. I'm afraid that this case might bring our security to public ridicule. This case might bring the NSA, all of their dark secret outside. Because the defense have already said it. We agree that this money we spend it, and this is the reason we spend it for. Now, my fear is having a highly political case and always keeping it in Macerado County. Like Sam said, almost everybody in Liberia are politicians. I agree with him. But if you take that case to other places, maybe like River Says, Grand Crew, River G, the jury selection process, you will look through those people and you will get to know who really discussing politics with knowledge and who are just discussing politics with feelings. So you will know how to select the jury. But in Monserrato, it will be difficult to know who is hiding their political side and going to sit on that bench to make decisions based on their political affiliation. That's my fear. That's my only fear. But if the defense believe in themselves very well, because in most instances it's the defense that calls for change of venue, if the defense believe in themselves and they believe in the jury selection process, because they themselves they are making input to the jury selection process, they can tell the judge that let's cross this person. We don't want this person on the bench. Let's cross this person. And thankfully, 8 out of 15 were selected today. So we are left with few to go. Just few to go, you know. After those 15 people are selected, the case proceed to trial. And we look forward to it, like the CEO said, is before the court, is technical to discuss, is difficult to discuss. More besides, this is a highly political case. And I believe that media outlet will continue to follow the story as it unfolds. We also come on here to inform our listeners about the major happening. Sam, I thought you wanted to say something there, so let's come to you before we go to the other issue.
Sure. Quickly, Junior. Again, this case, the economic case. Remember now, Samuel 12 said that he will cover with immunity, and at first, as he said, he will cover under that particular provision. So he appealed to the Supreme Court. He went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, no, you are not. Only the president and maybe who else, the vice president, maybe they are the people that are covered. So they sent the case back. And now they said they spend the money on security. But in the video, when the prosecutor was talking and said, I think they said that during the election, they sent the money to election commission or maybe for security. I think that's what I heard, but maybe I wrongly, probably I misunderstood that, I don't know. But if that is the case, whatever they spend the money for security, they had to justify. I think there's a way money is spent or transmitted to the security or to NSA. Maybe there's a way, but either way they use it, they have to make a case how they was Liberia in a total disaster during the campaign. All of those things will come out. So we are here to listen to how they spend it on security.
So you have to be, Liberia has to be during, it has to be national security disaster before they spend on national security.
No, I think there's a certain way that, I'm not sure, but I think there's a certain way that the national security can receive.
And there's a reason why. There's a reason why NSA is not audited. You don't audit NSA.
Yes, but the way they spend it during the election, that's the election time.
So Sam,
maybe at that point, security was needed so highly that why they spend the money, because they were talking about election time here mostly. So maybe Liberia was in a bad state of security, so that's why too. Who knows?
So Sam, here is it though, because my only issue here is that NSA don't answer question to any other organization or entity in Liberia. Now, if the defense are saying they spend the money on security and it is established that they spend on NSA, then it means NSA will go to testify before the court to say, yes, we received money or we didn't receive money.
When it comes to crime, because there's something we call covered up in crime. When it comes to covered up, NSA has to be pulled up. It does not mean that when I say NSA does not respond to anything, when it comes to cover up, they have to be called. It doesn't mean anything. But I think they are past this stage though, Junior. If they are picking jury now, there's no need now to even talk about NSC testifying because they are past this stage. The only thing they remain now is for jury to come with their finding, yes, they're guilty or not. So I think that's what it is now. But they are past all those stages now, I think, those stages.
No, they are not. What happening now is that they do the jury selection, and after the jury selection, now then they can present the evidences, call on the witnesses to testify. Then the jury will look into that, and then they will come out now with that deliberation. But here is it. Here is it. NSA is a very sensitive institution. I'm not saying that they use the money on NSA, but if they do so, it means NSA will go on a stand. And if NSA goes on a stand, they will answer all of the questions that will be posed to them by the defense. Because what the defense will be doing now is that, oh yes, we already admitted to this thing. So what we'll do is, since we spend the money on you, we'll ask you all the hard questions. And if they do so, in as much as there will be some sort of objection to some of those questions that will be asked, maybe the public don't need to know about it. Well, but it will be difficult to...
there are some questions that's security. Even you testify or say for security reason, I can't speak to this.
That's what I'm saying. If I agree with you that there will be some objection to some of those questions that will be asked, but if a technical question is asked, and then maybe there is an objection to that, then you bring doubts in the minds of the jury. And as you know, there should be a person should be proven guilty beyond all reasonable doubt. So if there is any doubt within the minds of the jury, it means they will come up with a deliberation that will be against the state, which is the prosecution. So that means most of those questions will be answered by NSA. If and only if they want for a favorable deliberation to come in their favor, they will have to answer to most of those questions. But if they cannot answer to them based on objection, then you leave doubts in the minds of the jury. And again, like I said,
I think again, I stand by my word. I think the prosecutor, I think in my mind they have a strong case.
Thank you. CEO, before we go, you just sent me something I think is very cardinal for us to discuss it. Let's hear you on this thing, then we will go to... We are getting a report from the Liberia Airport Authority here. We will try to discuss it on the show here tonight. It's still at large, but based on your experience at the airport, what you've been experiencing with airport authorities at the airport, I think it will be a really wonderful conversation for us to have here tonight on the show. CEO, let's hear you on this economic sabotage issue. Finally.
Yeah, you mean the Twitter thing? We're still on that?
Yeah. Okay, since that's the case, let's move on.
No, we can still talk about it. I had a question for Sam when he talked about NSA, the security. It was a security event and all that, but the defense has something. That's why you've seen the lawyer, his defense lawyer, making the case. So we gotta be careful now and for future leaders when it comes to dispensing or when it comes to spending on national security, because if we set the precedents and prosecute Samuel Tuah today for making decision that he believed at that time was a good decision, urgent decision, national security decision, and we go after him, the next person that may come in line could be skeptical when it comes to spending, just like that. But here's one thing I wanted to highlight. Correct me here if I'm wrong. I believe the lawyer for Samuel Tuah said something about when the spending of the money, it was authorized. I think it's just signed by the former president, His Excellency George Manuel Weah. I think if you have time, go back there. I believe that's what I heard. I believe he referenced the president, the former president. So now, are we opening the can of worms? So what if Tuah go there tomorrow and say, I spent it, I didn't spend it, I will. It was something that was done the right way. It was budget. It was sent to the right protocol and was authorized and signed by the president. So we're going to be implicating the president in this. I know he got the immunity thing, but are we going to? How would that go? So I think it's going to be very, very interesting, and that's why I think the prosecutor is trying now to push for a plea bargain to try to get things done outside of the court.
Well, quickly before we leave, CEO, sometimes government officials will clean those. They will say this kind of thing. You remember right now, just quickly here in the U.S. recently, Norman appeared before the Senate, I think Senate or House, and said that President Donald Trump authorizing her to what did she say? To spend something of money. Donald Trump knows about some money business. Donald Trump said no. So sometimes they say those things to get away with it. Who knows in some other case it's not like that. We are yet to see. But for me, I personally think that the defense, or the prosecutor, I think they have a case.
Thank you very much. For me, I still look forward. I think the defense have a really strong case against the prosecution, but we wait for the final gavel to be passed by the presiding judge over the case. But as it stands, I think there is no case there from my end. I am from the prosecution end. I think there is no case there because the defense have already said yes, indeed, we spend the money. They are not saying that we didn't spend it. They are saying we spend the money, but we spend it for XYZ purpose. So now what you coming to do is that you're calling on those people that they spend the money on, and then those people will testify whether or not they received the money.
Exactly.
And the president is saying, gentlemen, we agree that you spend the money, but that was not the intended purpose that you spend it for. The money was intended for this thing and you spend it on this thing. Now the defense too is saying that because of security reasons across the country, we spend the money on security. Even though it was not meant for security, but we spend it on them. So we look forward to them. And as it stands right now, we're still following the case. When the 15 juries are finally selected, the case will proceed to trial. And if it proceeds to trial, we
That's
get
right.
to understand all of the.
They are trying to wish wish money can be spent to security. But let's move forward and see. We are waiting.
Thank you.
Even they come tomorrow. They say Samuel Toy is free. Sam will come back and question that decision. So I see you do it.
Why are you predicting? Why are you predicting?
So today, the chairperson of the National Election Commission of Liberia, Daviata Brown Lasana, announced that she will be stepping down from her position as chairperson of the National Election Commission on the 15th of this month. I know there is no much to say on this, but I have one question, and I want you guys to answer to that. Who do you think is fit that will go to serve in that position for the politics, the way Liberia is currently? Who do you think that the president will appoint that will not come from Unity Party, that will not come from CDC, that will not come from SYZ era? Because the National Election Commission, these are people that are supposed to be independent. They are not supposed to form part of any other political party, nor be discussing any other political issue across the country. So, Sam, I will start with you. My brother Prince Zlair Paul, good evening and welcome to the show this evening. Prince is watching us from Complex City, Nima County. Prince, welcome.
Prince is reading too much in Complex. I don't know why. I think climate change is real. It's not like this in Liberia. Reading too much, climate change is real. So, Junior, to the topic, to the question. I think that, again, Liberia, I am not sure whether there is somebody in Liberia that is independent, that has no political affiliation. I could be wrong 100%. President that is high profile and independent and not does not have a political affiliation. I could be wrong, but again, in the wisdom of the president, he will make a sound decision to appoint somebody who will be independent, even if the person is of a political party and resign, and in that person's wisdom and think they can work for the country instead of working for a party. Well, their position you take and you can change. The good thing is when the president appoints, the Senate question that person to make sure and get everything out of that person. You know, it's always good to serve your country, Junior, than to serve a party. That's all I would say to this.
Now, this is the third election that we had after the Civil War. If I'm pretty sure of that, from 2005, 2011, and 2017, we've had very credible election commissioners and chairpersons. Now, with Davietta Brown Lasana leaving that position, do you think, should we be worried about anything, about electoral fraud, about any other thing like that? Should we be
No,
worried?
so we shouldn't be worried. The thing is, Councillor Jerome Kokoya was there before,
Mhm.
and he did his part. He served his country well. Ellen King to power. I think 2 times, right? 2 times he
Yes.
was there. Then Davietta King. Davietta did well. She served her country well. Joseph Baga came to power. So I believe there will always be men and women, regardless of whatever it is in the country. There will always be men and women who will be willing to serve the country in the best way possible for the nation to move forward than to serve a party.
She has not told the public about why she's leaving the position, but do you think there is any other internal push from the executive or any other area that is pushing her to resign?
I think she is tired. Junior, to serve as election commissioner is a tough thing. I think she is tired and she wants to go to rest.
How you know she's tired?
Thank you.
I think she's tired and she will resign. When you resign, what that means, and CEO, maybe you're tired.
Resignation there can be different reasons for that. It could be the big hands behind that pushing.
I'm not going to prejudge. I know if it.
But then you should not pre-conclude and say that.
No, I said I think she is tired.
So you could also think that someone is behind it.
No, I won't say that.
But then you're prejudging her decision by saying
No.
you think she's tired.
Unless the letter of resignation says I am pushed, then I will get something to say. But
all right, so unless a resignation letter also said that she's tired, that's the only way we believe that too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a willingness to retire from that position, but
I'm not going to discuss this on here. But I wasn't surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised, and that's just the start. Maybe we could see more, especially when it comes to election people that are there. That's just the start, and I will stop right there. But overall, she's done her thing, and congratulations to her. We applaud her for, I actually like her. I respect her because if I'm not wrong here, I think she was appointed by the former president.
Yes.
And Africa. Right? Africa. Someone who appointed you. She spearheaded this election, took over this elections, and election that opposition won by less than 20,000 votes. And she was strong enough to do the right thing and call the right election result. She did her job, but that's huge. That's a big deal. We're not talking about 100,000, 300,000 vote difference. We're talking less than 20,000. It could have gone either way. And we're talking about Africa here. I know it's not a good thing, but it's Africa. So she did really great. and I have to applaud her for that. Whoever comes after her, I pray and we pray and hope that they do the right thing for the interest of Liberia. When you look across Africa, election commissioners are very, very, they basically can call the shot. They can sway election results. They can turn the country into wherever, because by making any funny, decision can turn the country upside down. We all followed the election on this going election. We saw the tension. We saw what happened. I didn't really, I was surprised. I was really shocked to hear the result. And also kudos to the former president for doing what he did there too. So she did a really good job. She did extremely well. I don't know the next person that's going to come after her, if they'll be able to do exactly what she did there. But again, congrats to her. Thanks for her service to the country. And I don't think she's tired. That's why she's leaving. But we'll wait to hear. I won't make any conclusion like with my brother Dana doing, saying that he thinks she's tired. But she hasn't said anything. She hasn't said the reason. Because if she was tired, she would have said it right there. I played my part. I'm tired. I got to take care of my kids or my grandkids and things like that. She didn't do that.
You are not seeing her later. That's why I said I think that she's tired. That's why she resigned. Because when somebody is resigned, what comes to mind first is the person tired. Unless the person comes out and specify, but this is my reason of resign, then we can further discuss it. But I'm in my mind now. I think.
So Sam, I think I agree with the CEO. When you're making a preliminary statement about your resignation, it means you are satisfied and then you want to give people their clarity of the doubt. But she didn't do it today. So, I mean, she could have said, oh, I'm resigning because I want to focus on my case. I'm resigning because I'm doing this. You could have given the public a little glance of
You didn't say it. You left it out.
Junior, I disagree with you. You are on the show as the host. At some point in time, you get tired and say, okay, I'm stepping down. And then Junior says, oh, do you know why you're stepping down? And say, I'm stepping down. But your letter will come out. I will come on this show and say, I think Junior is tired and he has other things.
Okay, great. So let's wait for the letter.
Exactly. The letter now we'll discuss.
But here's my thought. With the two election commission chairperson we've had in Liberia, from Eddie regime to Josh Manawia regime. During Eddie 10, we had one person who served as chairperson of the National Election Commission twice. And after Eddie left, he resigned. Madam Deviata Lasana was also appointed by President Josh Manawia. Now, there were factors in the 2011 election that people say, oh, the election was rigged, it was this, it was that, blah, blah, blah. We left it. But in the 2017 election, this lady, the person who appointed her, she maintained a very high level of professionalism. When the entire country was helter-skelter, people were saying, oh, the election will be rigged. In fact, XYZ thing will happen. She gave the result according to the way the people voted. My only problem now is, do we have somebody that will have that level of integrity that she had in handling the National Election Commission of Liberia? That's the problem.
But no, it's not a problem.
Every day we're getting fragile as a country. Every single day we're getting fragile. And these are very, very sensitive positions. Now, if somebody resigning from there, I know these have been the patterns from the past, where when the next government come, this person will resign, and the current government will employ their own commissioner. But if the case is to do anything on the contrary, the CEO said, there is something you will not say here tonight. My mouth is itching to say some things, some of the leaked things I got here, but I will not say it to as well because it's sensitive. It's very, very sensitive. The names that we're hearing to be appointed as the new chairperson of the National Election Commission, if that is true, then Liberia is going bad. if that is true, then something is wrong somewhere. I'm hearing the name Gloria Musu Scott, former Chief Justice of Liberia, to be appointed. If Gloria Musu Scott is appointed to that position, I respect her as a counselor. I respect her when she served as Chief Justice of Liberia. I respect her so dearly. But she got political alignment with the Unity Party. Our country is getting fragile on a daily basis, and there are institutions that we need to keep them very independent as they have been, and not to play with them and make them political. In Tanzania, when the election was coming, the president went and cut off all internet access for the citizens. Nobody knew what happened after that election result was, mentioned. Other countries have been doing the same. I don't know whether Liberia want to follow the same pattern. We don't know yet. But the resignation of Davietta Brown Lasana as chairperson of the National Election Commission, there is an inner push that is pushing her to resign.
Junior,
I don't want to go above
I will not say here on the show for you to make case that he had no evidence for to it.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I agree with you.
Yes.
Sam, I agree. So let me stop here. It's okay. We discuss this issue. The 15th is now far. We get the letter in our possession. We play some of the clip that we've been getting, and we sit on the show to discuss it. Let's wait for the 15th. When the 15th comes, we'll come back here to discuss the issue. Again, folks, if you just joined us here tonight, you're listening to the Heat Tower program. On the Heat Tower, we see a dialogue and a confrontation.
Why have to Chris can call you up and say, man?
My begin say I supported how they call it Mr. Alexander B. Cummings at the time, and we didn't win, so we got 1%.
Yeah, 1%.
So we, mature political party will always accept for the good of the country. We accept that, and we're moving forward with it.
Yeah, so you're 1%. I mean, I like your political leader. He's a man of he speaks with recommendation. He's not like any other political leader in Liberia that will just criticize and leave. That's what I like about Alexander B. Cummings. But let's take you a little bit backward to the airport in Liberia. This is alleged again. Let's establish that it has not been confirmed yet. I want to read this news from the closing argument. Then we can discuss it, and then maybe we call it a day today, Sam. Just 2 paragraphs from this. It says the managing director of the Liberia Airport Authority, NSRO, H, has reportedly been suspended and turned over to the Ministry of Justice for investigation over allegations of corruption. According to multiple sources familiar with the matter, NS was allegedly caught on an audio recording soliciting a 15% kickback from a Canadian aviation navigation contractor identified as Intercan. Now, the company had reportedly been contracted to provide services related to air navigation system at the airport. Now, in as much as we discuss this news, I want us to go back to your experiences when you visit Liberia, how you are treated at your own airport, comparing it to other airports that you have been to, and what are the works that we need to do at the Roberts International Airport. CEO, let me start with you on this issue. What are some of the work that you think, in your opinion, we need to do at the Roberts International Airport? Considering the treatment that you get from other airports that you've been to across the world, and the treatment you get at your own airport, the Roberts International Airport, when you visit Liberia.
Yeah, first of all, before we even go further, I would like to say there are some people in Liberia, some professionals who are actually doing the right thing. They are doing the work. One of them is a friend of mine who left from here, but he works there at the same library aviation something that is doing extremely well. So, but now over to the experience. I know we'll tie that into the whole stuff here, because that's embarrassing. That's sad, because the reason why I think I like the fact that you asking for our experiences and then trying to bring that to what happened is because what just happened, this allegation, if it's true, then everything that you see at the airport there comes from the top. It's funny, a friend of mine and I were discussing something today, and I was asking about their experience when they get to RIA, when they get all their documents together, do they still get asked for little things? And so, oh yeah, you so long you come from the plane, you get that, the people will ask you for stuff. So for me, I don't take it. Well, here's one of the things that really frustrates me. So one time I was going to Liberia, and then for me, I'm a Liberian, so I know how things work. I used to the disorganized nature of the way the whole airport thing worked there. But we were in, when you go, you'll be in line, and then you will have people just coming from out and just start calling, Cyrus Badi, I'm here for you. And then they'll go grab Cyrus from the back, and then Cyrus will cut the line and then go ahead and do his thing. Frustrating. So one time I was going, and they did this to us. We were plenty in the line. I had a group of missionaries that were behind me, Americans. Those people were standing there. We're all standing there waiting in line. Cyrus, how we can stay in line here and just wait our time? Nobody cut line, no police, no nothing. We stood there. The manager just called that man from back. Oh, John Doe. We'll get John Doe from all the way in the back. John Doe come and cut the line. And then the guys, I was feeling embarrassed for the guests, the visitors. Not me now, but for the folks that were there. So that's just one example. I know it's not just isolated to Liberia alone, but the experience there has been mixed. Now I think they are doing a little better since the new airport. The terminal there, when you go in there, things a little different, not like the way it used to be before. But yet and still, I know they still do that thing. But sadly, when you hear allegations from the top like this, it makes you start to wonder what you expect the underman to do. If the boss getting a little thing out there, then what happened to the people that are below here? So it is it's very sad for our country. But I think they should start persecuting these guys, Cyrus, because we should not only focus on the previous government, the government workers. When these things happen in the government, and then they get them like this, they should go through the court system, the legal system, and get persecuted. So the cat eat your own baby. When you start doing that now, then it's send signal, right? But from what I've seen, when it happens in this government, they will dismiss them from their jobs, suspend them, and we don't hear anything else. And they'll say, "Oh, no evidence here." They're going through the whole process. So these things, when they get them, instead of them pushing the same effort they put into Samuel Twe and McGill and all the other guys by taking them through the legal process, whenever it happens to a sitting government official or a sitting government worker, employee, especially the big guys, I think they should go through the court system to send signal. But if you just dismiss them and let them something, and then it becomes problem. So yeah, it's a sad situation on the experience at the airport. I think it has improved a little bit from the old airport to the new one. I've seen incremental improvement, but it's not where it's supposed to be.
Thank you. I mean, you clearly understood where the question is coming from. And I like the way you laid it busy for Sam to have a very lengthy discussion.
Yeah,
Sam,
to talk about it. Let's see what Sam was saying.
you've had experiences with other international airports. When you arrive in Liberia, what are your experience there at the airport? And laying it back to this allegation.
I think CEO and I, we had a similar experience. I think it was at the old airport.
Mm-hmm. The O.
I was on a I think I was standing in line to get my ticket or something. I was saying anyways to approach the ticket counter at the old airport. And like he said, there was some white folks behind me, and then they out of a sudden they just called those folks to come, and then they joined in front of me. For me, I'm from America. I live, in a country that is exposed country that is not, even though it's not perfect, but at least there are some things that I don't right. And I told those folks, hey, you need to fall back. Please fall back. I am in the line first. So everybody started looking at me like, who is this guy? I said, no, sir, fall back. You can't cut out the line in front of me. I don't care who call you. Please fall back. Then the security guy said, I call you. And I said, man, listen, I'm here first. I spoke out. I wasn't quiet about it because I wanted to show to the Liberian people, let me say the junior, the mental slavery, I always will use this word, saying that the white people are superior than the black folks. It's still continuing in our country, in our continents today. Africa as a continent, that's a problem we continue to face. We see white folks as superior than the black folks. Yes, so I demonstrated my strength, and I demonstrated my experience. I demonstrated that regardless of who you are, we need to abide by the rules and regulations that set forth. So yes, the date for behind me, when I got my ticket, and they didn't say understood it. They said, "Oh, sorry, sir." And they, after I got my ticket, they came. Some people that were there, they said, "Oh, thank you, my brother. That's Liberia." I said, "Well, we have to teach them sense. Because the young people who working on the counter here, they want to see white skin. To them, maybe they think that they're going to get money or they're going to get them something good. So they just make their own black person look like nothing. But no, it's not me. I spoke out, and yes, it was good. So that was an example for other people. Sometimes somebody has to lead. When it comes to the issue on hands right now, if the manager director has asked for some kickback, Junior, I will first of all say it's shameful, disgraceful, and overall it's a dangerous path. It's not new, it's common to Liberia. People always ask for kickback, even in the House of Representatives. They sign concession agreement. That's why you see our country is upside down. It's a loose society. People ask for kickback all over. And taking a kickback is also a form of corruption. When it comes to either suspension, dismissal, I think that this government is trying to be honest. I know you and I agree with me, which is okay, but I think this government is trying. The only thing that is like right now is when these guys are suspended or dismissed, let me just say dismissed from the government, they should seek the law. And I also think maybe the reason, I'm just saying maybe, I'm not sure, I'm not within the government, but I also think that there are a lot of cases there are a lot of cases pending all over in the country, especially corruption cases pending. And that's why I would sit on the show and I always said that we do not need war crime code at this point. We need economic crimes code that will be independent and prosecute those who go into government with the intention of getting rich overnight. When these people, based on this kind of allegation, they go face the law. So if those who have been removed from their position, in other words, they have been dismissed from their position, if they are not face the law at this point, in my mind, it's not like they will not face the law, but I also think that there are a lot of pending cases in that country where Supreme Court, sometimes they just even, the other day when I was doing some research, they say Supreme Court take maybe 14 cases throughout the year. Why are they doing that? Why are they so busy that they're taking 14 cases, or they just don't want to take cases that?
Well, based on the
So I think that the criminal code I think they get a lot of court cases part of that. Civil code is the same thing. Junior, so creating a economic crimes code that will be independent and be responsible for corruption cases. Junior, I think we will be moving in the right direction. But I don't think I would disagree with you a little bit here that the government does not want to prosecute. But I also think that there are a lot of pending cases that are ahead of these things. But these folks will one day, even if not now, they will say face the law if any different government comes into power, because it's case by case issue. That just because they remove you, the other cases there, they will not judge on all the cases and say, okay, Peter Brownson, you were removed, come and face the law right away. That's how I see it.
Thank you. And Sam, I agree with you that we need some specialized codes to be established. For example, we need the Economic Crimes Court in Liberia to prosecute people who have committed economic crimes like corruption and other stuff. We need the labor code too to be established in all of the 15 counties. The reason why cases are part of on dockets at the criminal codes, the ministerial codes, the sacred code is because, let's say the ministerial code, the sacred code, for example, they have all of the responsibility. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter, the final interpreter of the law, the final stage of adjudication and all of that. So cases will not just go to the Supreme Court like that until maybe people want to seek for redress at the Supreme Court. But again, I agree with you, Sam, that we need specialized code. We need the labor code. We need the economic crime code. But where I disagree with you on is the way government officials, current government officials, their cases have been handled. I agree with the CEO. Current government officials, the major thing we see happening is those people, they will just suspend them on allegation that, oh, yes, you've committed the other act, we suspend you.
They just suspend them.
You're not prosecuting them. In as much as you got so many cases on the docket, there are certain privilege that's supposed to be given to integrity-minded cases. Same, you can be working in an area and then somebody accuse you of corruption. Your whole reputation has been tarnished right there. So any other area you're going to apply now, they will say, oh, they just accused you recently of corruption. We cannot employ you to this place. We cannot do this. So the government, in her own wisdom, I think they need to give credence to these cases and let them be adjudicated very fast. I don't know what is happening to the principle of speedy trial in Liberia. cases are on docket for like 1-2 years. They're not touching them.
Okay.
How do we establish that?
So I will give you an answer.
Okay, answer me, Chief.
Junior, you are into law now. Remember now, criminal cases, they are very expensive to there's no doubt about it.
So, Sam, is that an excuse to keep cases on the docket?
No, so it's not an excuse. It's a reality in law. There are a lot of
That's what
cases,
I'm
yes.
asking now.
So
Is that an excuse for the government to use because criminal cases are expensive, so the government will just go put cases on docket and keep it there? When they not get money here, they just keep it there?
no, when I say they're very expensive, one case can take sometimes to a 6 months to a year. Look
Are
at
you saying they
the
are expensive or they are time consuming? Which one?
expensive, the time, everything, money wise, time wise. Look at Samia Tour case, for example. Since when they started, it went to a year, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the Allison case. It went to a year. I think if not 1 year now, it went to a year. Those cases take a long time to hear them. So there are a lot of cases, again, that is pending. A lot of cases that are pending that is supposed to go through it. It's not the way we sit here and think the trial should be. It's not the way it is. If you really work in a court system, you will see that these things are really, really time consuming, and it takes time and also money. There are some more resources they're spending on those prosecutors to hear this Samia Tour case, to go through it. So look at Claudia in the case. Look at the other, how do you call this one? Joey, special, I forgot her name. Look at our other case.
The woman what name?
Finabono
case. So these cases will take time. We Liberian people would say that and say, oh, they're not doing nothing. They're not doing nothing. These other cases just occurring. They can't take over. They can't jump in front of those cases that are pending there and say, okay, then we remove you, come.
So why Prophet Key went to jail right away?
Oh, Prophet Key went to case. Where did it pass? It didn't pass no subordinate court. It just went straight to the Supreme Court and said, Supreme Court Chief Justice said, my man can't go into jail.
Is it because it was given priority?
Because he said it cost him out.
That's what I'm saying now. So they give that case priority. So if this government,
that's a question that everyone, for me, I sit on this show, I say Supreme Court were in error. I didn't, and they were criticized.
Sam, here is it. Now, with everything you're saying, I think you're still telling the government that they're doing wrong. Because the government is the prosecutor. Before a prosecutor says
the government is doing wrong, I'm not telling you.
You want to throw it out.
Yeah, okay, let me say it this way, Sam. Before the prosecution say we are carrying you to court, it means they already have sufficient evidence against you. But with these cases that we see pending, some of them come from a result that the prosecution don't even have a case. They don't even have any other evidence against those people. They just accuse them based on political reason, and some of them, their cases just there. The cases are there. In a civilized society, an advanced society, when government accuse you, government got money. Once they accuse you, it means they have done all of their intelligence investigation. They got all the evidences in their possession, especially when it comes to corruption-related cases. These are not cases like arson where you say it occurred today, so you need to start investigation today. Corruption cases, it comes like 2-3 years ahead, and you do all of the investigation. You got all of the evidences in your hand. Then you take those people now, you carry the allegation against them, you take them to court. But the fact that you take these people to court, there is no evidence in your possession, then we get confused as the public.
General, why are you doing presumption here? Why are you assuming that they don't have cases? I mean, evidences.
No,
General,
if they do have evidence,
I will be glad when you start doing your internship and going to record, then you will understand. Even if there are cases that sometimes it will take a long time. Right here in America, there are cases here and it's been there for about a year. The speedy trial sometimes it's not the way they say it, and the way it is in the book. It's not the way it is. It's not true. Cases still take for a long time. So don't assume that they don't have evidence or evidences to.
But Sam, the cases that take long time, these are not the kind of cases. Corruption-related cases, these are cases that you supposed.
But remember now, we don't have corruption court by itself. So these cases have to go go through the criminal code, code 8, and you know how many cases part of in criminal code 8.
So, in as much as there is something in law called high value and low value. The high value cases, these are criminal cases, criminal offenses. They are prioritized over civil cases. Now, if you accuse somebody of corruption, the best thing you can do is the court is there every day. You own the court as prosecution. You own it. The justices are appointed by the executive. The executive can tell and say, "You hear this case because
no. That would be interference. You know? Don't do that.
How is it going to be interference?
So this is the thing. High value cases can be prioritized. Number one, take for example the case of Samuel Toy, the case of the arson case. Those are high value cases that we can prioritize. Just because somebody accused you from the airport for taking a kickback or assuming to take kickback, and they remove.
No, Sam, we're not talking about only the airport
case. No, it's not.
No, we're not talking about only the airport case. The instance the CEO gave was the fact that these people in government, when they are accused, their cases are not heard. But people who have served before, when they are accused, their cases go straight to court.
No, because
an example is the economic sabotage case against Samuel Toy.
That's a high value case.
That's corruption case. You consider it to be
high value case, as you said?
You consider that to be a high value case because it's in the interest of the Unity Party. But somebody who is alleged, somebody who is alleged of collecting kickback from the airport, we don't know the value yet, but the person is alleged of collecting kickback, and you say that's not a high value case, but you suspend the person.
Yeah,
but somebody who is also alleged, somebody who is also alleged of spending money on national security, you call that one a high value case. These are the same corruption related cases.
Junior, please stop. I want you to stop and listen a little bit here. Junior, they accuse you for allegedly of doing something. You are serving the government. The government say, you know what? I think since you have been accused, we will suspend you and go through the investigation. The first thing the government has to do is internal investigation to gather all the evidence or evidences. Once the evidences are available, yes, they can then direct you to court and say, yes, this person has been, then they can charge you. Yeah, because
so why is it that those people that are in government that have been accused, their cases are not being heard?
It is because there are other cases that is ahead.
But similar cases that come from the opposition, and this government are taken very seriously.
No, these cases that we are talking about is talking about high profile cases. The arson case, for example, is a high profile.
No, that means the arson case. Now we're talking about corruption cases here.
For corruption cases, these are cases that when the government came to power, they said that it was the promise that yes, it will take power, we'll make sure and all the way our government and when we find any wrongdoing, we'll prosecute. You can't just little cases and just jump because it's opposition, imposition, no position, and just jump to new cases. So the came to power, they're doing auditing, and they see that there are a lot of wrongdoings. So they're going after these folks.
So my question to you now is that we've had other cases on docket, and there have been new cases from the opposition side, and those cases have been given priority. But government officials who are serving in government currently, when they are being accused, their cases are not heard immediately.
You're not still understanding. You're not still understanding me. I want you to please understand me.
You're not answering my question. That's why I was
arguing based on political point.
Let me phrase it this way. Let me phrase the question this way. Why is it that cases from the opposition, like Samuel Tua case, like the former director of the port, this lady that was cleared off by the LACC?
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Nathaniel McGill case too as well.
Right.
These are cases. Now, if you are aware, this government, when they took over, the first thing they started doing was suspending officials on allegations. And these people were turned over to the LACC. Some of these cases, they are still before the LACC, and previous, let's say, recent cases from the opposition that went before the LACC, they took those recent cases, and yet up till now, those previous cases from the imposition not being heard.
Okay. Again, Junior, I'm glad that you're into law. Sometimes do more research and review some of these things. Let's say it this way. Forget about imposition, opposition, no position.
But saying you cannot distinguish the fact now, that factor is already attached to it.
Chief, give me a minute, please. So the government ran on a promise to the Liberian people that yes, when we shall win this election, we will audit whereas government. If there are wrongdoings, we will prosecute. No doubt about that. So I believe
Are you saying the government is doing a selective justice when it comes to?
No. You went during the time they said that.
When you say the government said they will prosecute, we are government, it means they are not prosecuting their own people, their own government officials.
Chief, hold on. No, that's not what I'm saying.
You know what it reminds me of? Chief, hold on. It reminds me of the minister. The minister? What is his name? That guy.
Is it Jabate?
Jabate. He said, "Hey, Pastor, hold on. Before your wife
yeah. Because he running too far, boss. Let's take it step by step so our listeners and viewers can understand. Number one, the government they ran on making a commitment to Liberian people. There was a heavy we'll talk about thing in Wales government. There was corruption all over based on popular opinions. Okay, so the government was running on that promise to Liberian people. When we shall win, we audit. First of all, they audit, and then if there's wrongdoing, they will charge and they send the president to court for prosecution. So exactly what they're doing. When they came to power, they started investigating people like Samuel Tua, McGill, the port lady, and many others. Okay, so you recently saw that Mr. Nathaniel McGill was set free by the LACC. So he was not charged to send to court. So for him, it's okay at this point, according to LACC. So the port lady didn't go to court, I believe. She was acquitted by the LACC. So we also have Samuel Twe at the day audit, and they believe that they have reasonable evidences to the charging and send him to court for prosecution. Clara Marie Ware, in the case of Clara Marie Ware, they have more evidence. They charge and they send them to court. Finabono, in the case of Finabono, they charge, they send them to court. So, Junior, they can't jump over the cases and who are the court or what court that prosecuting the cases. That is in criminal code A. They're going. So these cases are there. Previous cases were there before they even came to power. Then that these cases are high value cases, as you said it in your law. So they have to prioritize those high value cases first before the local ones. So like new cases that are coming in this government, they've been removed, they've been suspended, some of them been dismissed. So those are cases that are coming after now. And they will charge them if, first of all, they will suspend them. They go through the internal investigation. If it's proven that yes, they are when they were in position, there was a misconduct, they carry out, and they have enough evidence. Yes, they can dismiss them and send send them to court. So we can't just say the government is not prosecuting its government officials.
Do you have evidence of at least one government official of this current government?
No, right now, CEO, the argument should be: are they dismissing these people? Yes, they are dismissing them.
No, dismissing is not the same as persecution. We're talking about persecution.
That's the first step. That's the first step.
Answer my question now. Do you know of any current government official or former government official of this current regime that is being persecuted, that is going through the court?
What do you mean, former? The government joining power?
They want to dismiss. They got several of them that they have dismissed. You know how your government when it comes out when
you say former and then current.
As a former employee, former government employee. So let's say, let's say
administration.
No. This current government, right?
Yeah.
They have a government official that did something allegedly, right?
Yeah.
They dismissed them. So then from there, they automatically become former government employees.
Oh, okay.
You understand that? Okay. So do you know of any of them that have been persecuted? And also, while you are at it, let me give you another question there. So when it comes to legal aspect, welcome to the show, Dr. 70 Zugetua. Thank God. You see, I wore red today, and you straight, you're not going to wear red. So, but
when you see, this time, even once I'm out, I enter the house, I can first go to know. So I just got in and said, no, let me see what I'm boss.
The man took you out of the picture and said, you know, I somebody using the thing, so I wear my same thing like that way into, you know.
So what I was saying was, when it comes, you guys are the expert when it comes to the law, criminal justice thing. When it comes to let's say criminal offense or alleged offense, is there any priority that the law sets and say this is high value, so we should go after the one first, and this one is not high value when it comes to crime in the eyes of the law?
Yes. See, also, for example, there are cases that can be prioritized. For example, murder. Let's say someone who you beat somebody who beat somebody. That's so we got misdemeanor, felonies, and other things like that. So if someone beats somebody, depending, that's an assault. Depending on that, it could be considered misdemeanor or felony based on the degree. Okay, and somebody who kill somebody. So if they were to prosecute those two cases, the court will look at the person who killed. Then they will take the case first and over someone who beat somebody. So those kind of cases can be prioritized over another case. So let's say corruption case. You have they allegedly reported or accused someone for that they were not used the use of BB terminology, embezzlement. They say the person embezzled $10 million, then the person stole maybe 100,000. So the first face value will be given to someone who embezzled 10 million. So over 100,000. So those are things that we look at. So with Samuel 12 case, where Junior saying it's opposition, imposition, no position case here. Samuel 12 was accused for a huge amount of money. Was alleged, accused, not even alleged now, were accused of using the Liberian people money. I think it's in $1 million. So that kind of case is considered the high priority case, and in that case, they will give Samuel 12 first. They will pick him first. So look at those cases, even in the criminal code aid. Now, those guys, the capital case is considered the high value case, so that's why they took the case right away. And as we speak, the case is ongoing. So yes, there are rooms and degrees as to how, when, where these cases can be handled. Junior might, I don't know how far Junior has gone. Junior knows better than me when it comes to law, because for me, I come from the criminal justice background. All we do, we investigate, we send the information or our evidence to the court, and then the court will carry the judge. They will carry the prosecutor. We send it to the prosecutor. Prosecutor will carry the case alone. Then when it gets there, Junior will use their terminology that I might not know all. Then Junior will use it. So that's how it works.
Thank you. Siawate, I don't know if you have been following the show, but we've had diverse topics here, and I think you should be able to. We should give you enough time so you can take your time and answer them as time goes by. So let me ask you first, though. Did you follow the topics that we discussed? If not, we can highlight them for you.
In passing, I think I heard the issue of the port director being suspended, and I heard that, and then why cases are also being delayed at the Supreme Court. I think
And then the one I want you to start with is the resignation of the election commissioner.
But I don't know whether she gave reason. I not read about that. So.
No, she hasn't given reason yet. She just resigned.
Well, I think her position is a tenure position, and I think a few months from now, or time should be over at the Election Commission. And then secondly, with all fairness, I think there are some issues at the Elections Commission, because few months back,
you see that while I'm beginning can say the fact, unlike some people that will defend, even if they look at it what is
if I don't have the evidence in my possession, I won't to speak on it. I'll be doing bias to the person.
So a few months back, the reason I said there might be issue is because a few months back we witnessed, the suspension of the election, the head of the commission, the old lady, and she was reinstated as well. And then there have been couple of protests at the election commission there by employees, by employees. And I mean, CEO, government, meaning like ours in Liberia is very difficult. Public service is very, very difficult, meaning in that, because for them, they are only seasonal. So like election, being an election commissioner, maybe sometimes is at this point now by 2029, or except by elections, before they have election. So if you heard that, even some of the cases with Samuel Tuer today, it also generated from the election commission as well, because he publicly admitted that he overly budgeted the election commission budget. Instead of, I think, 4 million, he went, I think, out of 4 or 5 million, he added additional million to that. So he even said in a press release. So the money was excess. All of the expenditure after everything during the election, there were issues. So some of the commissioners, they said they needed to remit the money to government account. Aloshi said they should remit the money to government account, and then other commissioners said they needed to divide them, then share the money. So there were a lot of holding and pulling there. At some point, people started protesting. But my point there was, if you have all of this money, why is it employees at the Ministry of, in fact, at the Election Commission were protesting for salary? But like I said from the beginning, in my opening statement, there are issues. Probably she might, I know she's a lawyer, and CEO where she's serving, she's an integrity person, because that institution is an integrity institution. So sometimes, we live in a very small society. Some of these places, when you are not careful, government sometimes haunt you. That's the reality, because like Glasgow, like what happened to Glasgow from NAFA, that's my own government, but they ran with the news everywhere. Oh, Glasgow or corrupt. At the end of the day, they free Glasgow. They exonerated LACC exonerated her. And once they put these things on you as a professional person, is not good for your file, because you are now going to the level where you could do international work now. Like for Glasgow, like the old lady, the theater, the way she conducted the election in 2023, the whole world saw it. So some of these funny, accusation, holding and pulling, I think she want to release herself a little bit, have a timeout. Maybe she had other opportunity in the government, so that she will proceed with. But from what I know that there are some internal fight within the election, and working body there are some issues. But until she can come up with position of why she resigned, we are yet to know why. But for the past few months, or the past 2 years after the election, there have been some holding and pulling, for which I know that she was even suspended a few months back, and there have been protestation along the way.
Thank you. That that's exactly what we suspected here. We said it. I know my brother said, I think that she might be tired, and that way we disagree a little bit there. So
but even CEO right there, even if she be tired, right? The thing is, it's a tenure position, and hopefully out of this year, I'm very sure this year will be, the time. Yeah, the time should be, over at the election commission. If not this year, then maybe early next year, something like that. So that's what I know. So if you just see somebody who's working and they just come out to say they resign, then there must be a problem. Sometimes. Yeah.
No, Secretary, that's not true.
You
said?
That's not true, Secretary. Listen,
Okay.
you can be serving in a position at some point. You just tired with the position. You can say, well, I have done enough, and I would like to rest and go and have time with my family.
But did you follow the election commission saga? That's what I'm saying.
Well, they were claiming that someone pushed her to resign. I said, no, that's not true. I mean, it might not be true.
No. I'm not talking about your previous, argument.
Discussion.
Yeah,
Let's talk about now. But then we'll take off from there.
I'm talking about what transpired at election commission few months back. Whether maybe
No, I didn't follow it.
okay, that's what I'm saying. There are issues because she was suspended, for some months, and then she was reinstated and beyond.
And what was the reason?
That's what I'm saying. I said there were issues. There were money that were allotted during the election, right, in 2023, and the money, usually when people do budget, the TUSA, he over budgeted for the election commission. So after the election, there were excess. That excess, it needed to be, because once there's a government budget now, once they budgeted for you, and at the end of the day you use by right, once you don't provide document and the money is staying in the account, you need to remit it and report it to the government. So they did not do, and they started digging on each other in the Liberia, palace. So they started hoarding and putting. So when that thing came out, that's where other people said they needed to share the money. And some people said, no, the money, either we use it for the commission, and other people said, no, we have to remit it to government account. Obviously, right there, you will see that people want to honor people, they know there are issues. And then at some point, the president, that the information reached the president. There was some point, I think, the president suspended her. So, and beyond that, there have been some, internal fight with the commissioner and other, the chair of the commission and other commissioners in the place. And then another thing, if you witnessed a few months ago, CEO, you saw that there were even office logistics being broken and a lot of things happening at the election commission. Based, some were issue of salary disparity, some were salary delay and all of that. So,
I seen election commission locked their door for.
They locked it. Just a few months ago. Yeah. So I think the play is being a little, toxic for her. That's what I see, and as it is.
And I think, Charity, you strike a really great point there about. I'm trying to add ones and twos together here. I wonder if this has anything to do with the ongoing TUE case. Because the election, you just said it, that the money allotted to the election commission, like you said, was overly budgeted, right? So I wonder if, again, I'm just adding things together. I wonder if it has anything to do with the timing of a resignation and with the ongoing case and the NEC being implicated when it comes to budget and talking about misappropriation of money.
But see, the issue even with the money on discussion, right? Even if she resigns today and that money was used by the commission without proper documentation, obviously they might be indicted. But my point here, I don't know how they actually ended. Not follow. That's why I'm saying we are waiting to see her resignation and what come after her resignation. Because for what I know and what we follow or recent, I'm just giving a little synopsis on what we have followed. But from the previous, commission, from the previous saga at the election commission, you can fully deduce that there are issues. That's why I keep saying. Because if even 12 that were indicted, sometimes when people speaking, because when TUE said he even 2 times, he budgeted twice or 2 times the budget of the election commission, that means if TUE can even budget for election commission like that at a time, other institutions, and but then it will be it's an alarming situation. So I mean, for me, I still hold on to the belief that the old lady did not voluntarily resign. There are issues there. I mean, we all live in a country. We know why it is when people of such.
Well, I mean, Charity, if she's not performing, so the degree.
Performing or what? The woman role is to conduct elections. She conducted the most credible election in history.
No. So this is the thing: you can conduct elections, but it's not just to conduct elections, though. There's also a management problem, because if they give you loan sum of money and you conducted elections and some of the money left over and you didn't refund the money back to the government coffers, and then there is also
do you have evidence of that, or you just You just
According to what Secretary Joy explained, though.
no, that's what Secretary said. Secretary, the man put him on your mouth.
No, I said that, but saying why you want to bend the conversation? The conversation here when CEO. No, I come in. Let me restate what I said. I think the argument is why she resigned. That's why from the beginning I said until she can give reason why she resigned. But as far as I know,
yes.
Yeah, as far as I know, from the information out in the press, even with while on our tour admitted at the CDC headquarters when you're having his press conference, he said, because I think the election budget was around 4 or 5 million, and then he added additional money to it. He admitted I'll get our video clip and send it in the chat room. It's on radio. In fact, it's even on the social media. And previous holding and putting at the elections commission with stakeholders of the election commission with protestation and what have you, I think the work environment has become toxic for her. And obviously, when people win election at this point in government, Africa like ours, everybody want their own people they have trust in. That's another one. So sometimes the pressure too comes from all sides. Mind you, there have been rumors too that another person, someone is in me, is eyeing the job and what have you. So I mean, we are waiting to see.
No. So you said here that there was over budgeted money,
Yeah,
for her, and the money was spent. Then the bottom that remains, she was supposed to remit that money to the government cover.
That's how it should be in government budgeting.
And it didn't go there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's exactly what I said. I didn't quote you wrong. So if that is the case, then there's also a problem. Then it's not just to conduct election. So
she needed, that was the information they needed.
I agree.
So I don't know whether the money was remitted. I said that was the information. I don't know whether the money was remitted.
I agree. Now. So what I'm saying is, if that is the case, and then she's not performing well, because if the money is not remitted to the government, then it means she's not performing well.
No, I said at the time after the election.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now, if the money was not, so it means she's not performing well. And if there's a crisis, there are two people fighting for money, then it means she's not on top of her job. Because remember now, election commission is not just to conduct election, it's a credible and highly what word can I use? One of the important institution in Liberia. So someone who is there must be over on top of his or her job. If there are crises there, then it means she having some trouble. So if the place is hostile for her not to serve, she has a right to resign. But unlike this reasons, my colleagues my fellow panelists on the show were saying that there is a big hand inside trying to push her out. I said no, until we can see her letter, then we can go that direction. But at this point, I'm not going to speculate what is in her mind to resign. That's what we're saying. So if that is the case, if that the new is, then it means she's not performing her job. She not found her own self, for then she had to get out.
No, the same way you actually you were the one who started by saying you think she's tired. So as we all do on this platform, we have our opinion and our take. So you said you think she's tired, and then we said, well, we also believe there's a reason behind her resignation. There are motives behind her resignation, right? And I said that there are some things that I'm not going to say on this platform, but I saw it coming. Remember? That's what I said, right? I saw it coming. And then, so who knows if we go your logic and agree with what you said, agree to disagree. That maybe she was not performing well from the management perspective as you perceive it, or you just stated maybe someone from out there say, man, you've done your part, but the noise over there too much. You need to give way, right? So it's all speculation now until we get the actual resignation letter and the reason for that. I don't think she might even put it in there. I doubt. She's not even going to put it in there. She's
She
just
won't.
gonna,
She won't.
she just should go
Well,
first.
she won't put it there, then it means she's tired.
Okay, it means she's tired. So I got this thing, man. When Unity Party, Cyrus, when your party took over, and then they started this whole. They brought the new LEC guy in. I know I must say one time the men were on the move for 3 months or 4 months. And after that, we've been seeing a lot of people cry from LEC to say LEC going back to where it used to be. I think this is the second time in 1 month or so where there has been fire outbreak at the LEC substation. There's another one tonight that is being reported by the Closing Argument and other media platforms. Several communities without electricity due to a fire outbreak at LEC's substation in Tuporo. What's going on here? Selda, I know you were there. What do you think the reason? I know we are not engineers, we are not electricians here. We're not experts when it comes to electricity. I mean, so what do you think is the reason behind this? Did this guy, is he in control? Because if we go with Cyrus' plan, LEC is not functioning right because they basically came with different something, and now the heat just killing people. And the LEC goes to one community, the next thing low, the other people won't count on. Should we be questioning this guy now, or something? Is there something bigger than any LEC director?
CEO, with all fairness, Liberia as a country are working both formal and informal sector in Liberia. Many position of such. I just want to give a little historicity of that gentleman. There's a company that is providing electricity in Ivory Coast. It's called RSG, something like that. I might not be too good with the name. So he was one of the manager or one of the head for that. He was, running our place. And then when Liberia got that current contract or stuff with them, they started to run the line in Liberia. So he better, quote unquote, understand the administrative side or management of electricity from that angle. And that's how he came in. Mind you, when the former money the former LEC boss, either the dismissing or he resigned money on Money Katan, right? On Money Katan, either resigned or the dismissing. There's an old man from Nimba called Thomas Gonkewon, a very strong old man. He used to be in Yekepa. He's an engineer, very cool old man. He's an engineer by profession, though. Electrical engineer, with wealth of experience. So they set up the whole thing. You can remember when the vice president invited the team, Lance and Man and LEC to Ganto on the farm. So after they had that conversation, they did a very good concept, and they put it in motion. But being that guy, he came from the angle of that CLSG angle, and they thought that his coming on board will be an added addition. Value addition, because he coming from that place. When it comes to electricity, and they say sharing, I know he can be speaking out a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Load sharing, high sharing, all the one, and so that means they will get a current from CLSG, get it from the dam, get it from the solar panel. All the calculation he did, everything did a calculation. So the Liberian people actually had a trust in him that when he comes, you're going to do far better because with the connection he got with CIG. And mind you, when he came, he started on a very good footing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're on honeymoon.
Yeah, so when he came, all of that was happening. But after a few months now, because I used to call to my house, they would say, "Oh, yo, our boss can eat on everything in a freezer." In fact, everything on our freezer now, everything is freeze. So what I'm trying to say is that when people want job in Liberia, that's how they behave. Yeah, the insincerity is too much because they pretend as if everything will be good. Look, I monitor that guy. Even Senator Edwin Melvin Snow posted about him that he's one of the best so far when it comes to the management of electricity. Because CEO, even opposition leaders were hailing that gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He even criticized previous bosses when he took over. But I don't know, for some reason, the few days, more than I know how many months now, Korean had gone back. It had retrogressed to where it used to be, even far beyond that. So I don't know. What is happening is when people want job in Liberia, they just put people on the pretense for a few days. The only person I can tell you for free, the best performing minister or government official in Liberia, I can say, for my opinion, in terms of performance, the public works minister, the foreign affairs ministers. In fact, the foreign affairs minister, yes, I can at least we can see them doing some work. But when that gentleman was coming, see you, he said,
Yeah, you're talking LEC gone. The man LEC gone. The man LEC gone. He did the LEC, man. So the LEC going wherever he is in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, but Cyrus, this is your thing. But what's your honest opinion on I think it's sad because when you start on high note like that, you set high expectation. The people then hold you to that level, and they expect more from you. I know again we are not experts in this field, but we are also rational people who have family members living there, and we see on social media now complaining all over the place. Well, what's your take on this?
So, on a serious note, I think some of these things, let's look at our country setting. Let me make a correction here. I know you guys always tie me into Unity Party. I am not a member of Unity Party. But if I see the government doing okay, I must admit, likewise, any other government in Liberia, if I see them doing something good, I mean, it's my country, it's your country, we will give them the credit. I'm not a member on the Unity Party. I'm not even close to Unity Party in any way. I'm not even close to CDC anyway.
Sorry, CEO, my computer, I don't know which one is sorry.
What happened? Your LC win? We can't see you.
No, I'm a computer. I don't know why they went in a mode that I needed to move.
What can happen when you hit the LEC bus, and that LEC bus can communicate with the people in the US and tell them your put that correct. Yeah.
So Sam was talking, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, CEO, I would say everyone we need the best for our country. That's why, he's such a smart young man. Even doing his confirmation hearing, it was almost like I don't even know because he was widely celebrated from everywhere from the way current was flowing in the country. But I mean, at this level now, I don't know why it's happening. He needed to appear before the Senate. I think he didn't appear today because Liberia CEO, if you really follow the dam over there, since after the war, we have spent over 300 and some more million on our dam. Up to now, there's no stable electricity to even cover the entire Monrovia. That's shame. It's a big shame. country like after. I mean, when you hear people saying, "Oh, we came from the war," after 20 years,
Yeah, it can be.
after 20 years, no innovation, no innovation. That's one of the challenge we have as a country. If Liberia as a country today, we are just carrying street light on the airport road, that shows you how, and our country being struggling. And after the war, the only excuse we got, Liberia being to 20 years, 14 years civil war. And if the war will fall, not even 14 years, from 1979 up to 2003, they were just breaking. People fought war, they destroyed things. And on a side note, people, when we go to Domo Square, even in Liberia, they beating people, busting car windshield, destroying the one. At the end of the day now, after everything now, we start to bear the consequence. So the issue with that electricity thing, the Senate would need to call him to better explain to us
what happened. Yeah,
what's really happening, because he need to tell. Because see, the guy, to conclude here, look, the gentleman discussed that electricity business as if when he comes, Liberia problem will be solved. The man comes here, he drew, right? The man projected his first 1 year plan. In fact, the man started in the first 6 months. I will look for that. I will look for that thing on the Liberia Senate tonight. I will get it and send it in the chat room. The gentleman started with the first 3 months plan, 6 month plan, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. I said the man drew the graph, projected everything to the Senate. I said, wow, this guy.
Hey guys, we're about to get still electricity.
Yeah. The low sharing hanging fruit, by this time we'll get 20 kilowatt, and by this time we'll get the dam will be ready 60 kilowatt. The one from CRSG, when the men put all that thing together, they don't and say, yeah, you are one of the best. And current used to flow. In all fairness, but
yeah, I'm saying it was good. It was
so
good.
He really need to tell what really going on, what going on there in tell, maybe because maybe it a problem to that place that when people go there, because you got the country, that's one of the serious revenue generation place. CEO, if the government can really pay attention to that place. But the only thing is they just focusing on donor funding and coming how they will get some. The electricity, they want to go in, then the people, that's why when people even run into people for tap, I can get problem with them, because the people are not even getting the electricity. So the little one, you get somewhere, you go hang on it. So sometimes when they running behind the people, for me, I don't really see it.
So it's funny, right? So I was very coming, I traveled with one Liberian professor from, I think he's from New Jersey. So he hasn't been to Liberia in a long time. He was small when he left from there, so he was going back. But since he came, he has been traveling around Africa, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and other countries. Beautiful, the light and the electricity, everything that's all stable and nice. So he was taking his mom to Liberia, taking her home because she was ready to go back home. So he needed to drop her off and come back. So we sat in the plane, we were going, we're enjoying ourselves, man. When we reached to that place, they announced we're about to land to RIA and all this. So we're flying over Monrovia, I think, right over Monrovia. I was sitting next to the window, and he was like, no, brother, can I see the view? It was at night. He wanted to see the view of the city, all the other countries. Other countries you go to, at night you can see the view, you can see the country far. So, man, can I see the view? I said, what view? He said, the view of Monrovia at night. I said, you sure you want to? He said, I said, no, nothing out there. He thought I was joking. He said, okay. So I just lay by, I flipped the thing up. The whole place dark. He said, you sure over Monrovia? I said, yeah, over. So you can see the one, so now you see one light. And then the next one, you go see he just felt discouraged. He couldn't believe that we were flying over Monrovia. At that time, I think it's been about 6 years ago. I know it has changed a little bit now. The last time I went there, I had a better view of the city at night. It had electricity all over the place. It was fun. But at that time, it was very embarrassing. And I just thought to share that. So, yeah, Cyrus, I think with things like this don't need to be politicized. I'm not speaking to you directly now, but all of us. Yeah, so food, electricity, water, safe drinking water and electricity, healthcare, those things they should be apolitical. We should approach them from a nationalistic, patriotic vantage point. People want to go back to Liberia, and some of the issues that people have or concerns they have will be, safe drinking water, electricity, and healthcare. You can't have LEC that's supposed to be providing electricity to hospitals and other places doing this. I think like Siawete said, that the boss need to let the public know what's going on, what's happening, because you can't have this happening. What's your take? I know you were in flight when Siawete came back.
Thank you. See you again. Let me clarify for our listener and viewer. I am not a member of the Unity Party. I am not a member of the CMC. I'm not a member of any political party in Liberia.
But who accused you of being?
I have affiliated with, or maybe that's a like a better word, I have supported some political leaders that I believe they could do well for the country, which one of them was ANC, a political leader, and Liberty Party, but not a registered member. To make that clarification. Can I say that if Joseph Boakai is doing well, Unity Party is doing well for the country, I will sit on the show and say it. But as for the LEC, let's get to the LEC. CEO, when the country, when we have a loose society like Liberia, it's difficult. Okay?
How you classify our community like that?
It's exactly. So, Serity, when the country does not have a solid foundation, it's difficult no matter what kind of expertise.
The play going to be representative for you coordinated, huh?
No, I don't want to be representative.
You're going to be police commander, the play coordinated, huh?
It's difficult. Let's look at
why you say you want to be police director.
No. Let's look at the play where the German came from, like Ivory Coast. He was performing well in Ivory Coast because there is a foundation in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, maybe right now things are getting better, but Ivory Coast has a foundation that is set for other people who will even come to power to do well. When the country lays a foundation, no matter what, you will do well when you carry your little experience. But Liberia is a loose society. No matter what degree, experience you have, you go to work in Liberia, you will have a struggle. Number one, I believe the gentleman is knowledgeable, very knowledgeable person. So anybody who doesn't know anything will not do those projections. They will not do. I saw that the gentleman confirmation. I say he used AI to do the presentation or to put those things together. But then in my mind, I think he's very knowledgeable. But Liberia as a loose society, the foundation is not laid out. And I think the German shortcoming is when the president started praising him.
Wait, before you go further, when you say loose society, what do you mean by loose society?
No foundation.
Okay, so that's two different things. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Well, so, and I wish I would put it together good for you so you can understand it. So, Liberia in a loose society, everybody does anything they want to do. Like you go to Liberia now, you're working. And so you want to say, okay, you see fault with certain things in the country, you want to straighten things. CEO Serity has worked, I don't know, he worked really in a high position in Liberia. There are some people who ministries that have been there for 40 years, 45 years, maybe 50 years, they're there. They know the in and out of the ministries. Those is a manager director. There are people who been in that corporate setting for too long. They know they're there. So you go there and say, okay, I think we should change things. And the people of Liberia, many of them are resistant to change. Or they're not the typical ideology of Liberia is, but the team being like this, that man will change it. That's the typical ideology of them.
So you think the current performance that he sees that is ongoing, you think is because of Liberians?
I am coming, Chief. Give me a minute, sir. I am coming. I'll give you the answer. This guy came. When he came, what was happening? Electricity. He started on good footing. If you were see if the guy was not knowledgeable enough when he came, things like that would not be going on. There are some people who can lie on their resume. I don't know him. I got no connection with him. But some people, part of some of our brothers would lie on their resume and go like, bro, I was doing this, and which is not true. But I think the guy was working in Ivory Coast because where he was working, it has a foundation, and he used his experience. I mean, he was doing well there. But for Liberia, he went. I want to believe, I don't have evidence to this. I want to believe we're trying to put puzzle together on the possible way that could help the country. I want to believe he was getting too much of attention from the president and from the citizen as well. And those who came before then who didn't get it, and those who are work in that particular entity who are not getting those things. Still, I got no evidence again. It's my own opinion here. I'm of the belief that they've been undermining this guy.
I'm glad you said it. You have.
I am of the belief that they've been undermining this guy so that he can succeed. And what they fail to realize is that if this guy succeeds, Liberia succeed. It does not matter because remember now. I saw a President Baka praising him one time under the Paraba House, something like that, on the booth that he built. You were praising him, say the LEC director doing well. So in a country, how the charged political country like Liberia, but president praising you, and is to them a degrading the other people. So
the president has praised other people, and the people are still doing their job. They're still doing good.
I don't know which one still president praised and still doing good.
The VP.
The VP position is not a technical area, even though it's managerial area. It's not a technical area. For what they got in the technical place is where it's difficult to maintain.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me ask you. So when you are you say you work in HR before, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you are hiring someone, you hire the person and you interview the person.
Yes.
And then they got a job description.
Right.
John Doe, I'm hiring you for project manager. What's your experience?
Right.
John Doe will tell you, say, I have experience here. I've done this. I've done that. Then you will tell John Doe, here's the job that I'm hiring you for.
Right.
This is what you'll be doing. These are the challenges we face. This is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go through all that. Before you accept a job, you know the scope of the job, you know the responsibility of the role.
Right.
You know the challenges, the opportunity, the strength, and all those things you know all.
Sure.
So when you are a leader, whatever happens below you, you are held accountable for it.
Sure.
Okay. If anything happens in Liberia, they say, everybody go, Joseph Barker. Yes. That's just part of it. And if you're a manager, even the role that you and I play in any part of America, corporate America, or whatever you do, your team performance reflects you. In fact, there are some jobs where when you're a team leader, you're a manager, your promotion, your bonuses and everything is tied to your team. right?
Yes.
So you are responsible for your team. Now, if you are a director, a manager, or a leader for LEC, and you sit there and you don't perform, and you allow others to undermine you, and then the country struggle with electricity, and then we come on here to say, oh, Liberia is a political country, people are undermining him, that's why LEC is not going. That will fall flat. I think that's a
No,
that's
no. You're not understanding my point. And again, I'll clarify myself.
Okay.
So I want you to
Clarify.
understand this. All I'm saying here is that yes, CEO, I can hire you. I give you your specific job description. But remember now, as a managing director, you are managing group of people. Okay? You got subsections. You got other people who work under you. And you got field or people who go out on the field. Okay? So you are a manager director, you are on top. You got this person, that person, that person, that person. There's a layer. Okay, you got all this layer under you. Okay. And it's not everywhere you will be, especially in the technical area. It's not everywhere you'll be. People report to you. You rely on people. Okay. I rely on Serity to give me information and say, okay, Chief, I see that this other place we need connection, we need this. Or the other place is like this. Okay, then Serity has somebody who work under him. Charity rely on this person. That's where honesty comes to place. And CEO, you the CEO now, we are looking, everyone is looking up to you for us to report. Charity report to me and report to you, for example. Somebody under Charity report to Charity. But then CEO is being praised by the president. Is Charity honest enough to me as somebody? Maybe not. If I'm honest enough to CEO, maybe no. Then what we need to do to make the entity better now, things struggling, because report is not going and not reaching to you. And it's not your one spot.
Okay, yeah. Right, Sarah, before we come to you, I'm sorry. Let me ask Sarah. I let to give Mandana hat. So, on the same show, and then Sarah, you can chime in on this. Yeah, you can chip in on the same show. Just a few minutes ago, our brother Cyrus was holding the NEC director, the head of NEC.
NEC. Oh yeah.
In the National Election Commission, you were holding her feet to the fire.
Yes.
You were saying that things happened. She was not managing well, allegedly, and this and that. And if she was not performing well, so she should leave, right? She's the head. She's the head, right? You were going after her.
Yeah.
So we talked about other things that were happening, the noise that were there, all the small things. And you said, well, if she's not taking care of all those things, then she's not a good leader.
Right.
That's why she should leave. Now, a few minutes later, you are here spinning it for the LEC man.
No. So
no. Let me finish. You spin it for the LEC man. Now you measuring them with different yardstick. It's okay to happen to the NEC boss, but the LEC boss, no, the LEC boss, they honor mine. You think they will honor mine, they owe mine as well? But Charity, let's hear from you before Sarah.
No, but I didn't finish. I was in flight.
No.
I feel like you're not coming on like that.
I'll call you like that. Let's hear what this is. It's not dialogue between you and Charity. What
I didn't finish. You allow me to learn now.
That is law enforcement lane.
Yeah. So the thing here is, this guy, whatever happening to him, he has to come out to say something. If it's a reason, he has to come out to say something to Liberian people. Yes, I started this, but sometimes people are afraid to speak out in Liberia. That what can jeopardize their whole effort. Because if I say this, maybe I might lose my job, because he getting some, maybe he might getting some cut there too. Who knows? It's Liberia now. Oh, gee, we can do this and get money. So maybe all of this thing happening, but listen, see you. One day you will go to Liberia to work. It's a reality. This is not a joke. But with the scenario you gave, it's a different thing. The Oma, according to Serity,
Oh, so
I didn't get it. I didn't get the information.
Wait, get
I
up there.
didn't get the information. So Serity provided a real good and concrete information to us here, and he got it from the news. So I take him by his word. The woman received excess amount of money, and then he conducted elections, and at some point the remaining money, maybe it didn't go back. She was supposed to send it back. It didn't go back, and people were arguing about it, where it's supposed to go, blah blah blah, and people were locking the doors, and people. At some point there was a riot in the place, and at some point she was suspended, and then she was reinstated. So with all this drama that occurring there, it means she's not in charge of the place anymore. That's what I said. But for this guy, yeah, electricity is going. We are not experiencing riot yet. We are not seeing noise yet. But if the noise is coming and people talking and people not doing this, then yes, then he's not in charge. But for electricity going on, let the Senate call him. He was supposed to appear today, like Sarah said, he didn't appear. We want to hear from him what is the challenge that he's facing, so the Liberian people, maybe they will help. If he remains silent on it and the play is becoming crazy and Liberian people not getting electricity, obviously he will get it. That means he's not in charge. You will have to go. Let's hear it coming.
Yeah, see, that's what man Sarah is saying. I think he's playing double standard game here. He's holding one person to different standard and then the other person different standard. I think it's the same thing.
But CEO, for me, like I said, they already talk about resignation. But I was just giving, what has transpired or recent that I know of. But if he is saying the woman is tired, and then you come out to say LEC boss is not performing, you are preempt here that he's being undermined, then I'm not getting your point, because the gentleman in question, with all of the dossier of experiences and with everything he displayed to us, in less than 3 to 4 months, we are not seeing the performance that the Liberian people actually want. For me, I will be happy when my people are sleeping on current, when they are getting electricity to, do their little businesses like the Kuwait, the juices, getting a fridge all set. So the issue of undermining, I don't even want to say it, because undermining us as what? The man went to a tenure position. He didn't even go there he got the willpower. When there's anything, look, the appointment position, there are a lot of privileges being given, meaning that everyone are a store right now in terms of service provider. So if he got anything right now, if anyone is undermining him, I think he should be man enough to come up, and bring it out to the president or whosoever that appointed him. So that excuse about people undermining him, he are not speaking up. But if you are defending him that they are undermining, for me, I think it's a weak argument, because he got a lot of work to do. If we try on our part of undermining people, then we had nothing to do in Liberia to serve our people. He got work to do. That's the responsibility the president gave him. And in the last few months, if you saw how Liberians were holding that gentleman, you will see. If you really follow him.
I did.
So at this point, for us to say that he's being undermined, he just, I don't know where he's being flat-footed. You need to tell us.
Okay. So
thank you. Yeah, before you do that, so that will be our closing. We're giving you 5-6 minutes, make your point, and then from there you just do your closing after that.
Don't question me when I'm closing.
No, that question.
What all that means?
You know the mechanic told you can go 5 minutes.
What other minutes do you
No, I will not go all that minute.
Okay, so okay, 2 minutes, Cyrus. Go ahead.
Thank you.
We've been here 3 hours now.
Thank you, Sir. Yeah, myself. So yes, again, sincerity, all I'm saying here, I'm not flip-flopping here. What I'm saying, I'm always using the word I think. But the reality is that this guy came, lives were, we were experiencing a great thing from him. Myself here, I will be traveling to Liberia at some point. I really want to have good country, good electricity. You know, everybody really needs good electricity in the country. The country lives by electricity. I can't sit here and defend anybody who is not performing. That would be injustice to the country I love. So what I'm saying is, he came. You were doing good, pretty much. What has gone wrong? And based on the country that I know too, I'm just drawing some analysis here. I'm not defending nobody. It could have been that since he came, he's been doing good. The president, everybody talking about the citizen, some people, maybe have been that people say, you know what, this guy, we'll fuck with him. Who knows? It's possible in Liberia. It's possible. Someone could say, you know what? No, so since he's getting popular and information things that are supposed to flow in the electricity, it's not going the way it should be. Because this thing can happen. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's what's happening. But if he has some challenges, all he needs is to come out and tell the Liberian people, let him be, frank with the Liberian people. This is what I'm facing. That's the problem with that country. People, because of money, charity, people enjoying, they're getting caught. They don't want to speak out. They don't want to leave. And then they will demand the huge money. I think if you and myself could say something here today, let me say they will. Maybe that money the guy that guy is getting now from Liberia, you are not getting it from Ivory Coast. Let's be honest, that's Liberia society where someone can give you your money and say, oh, you cheap, take this and put it in your pocket. And when, for example, when Joe came to power, what happened? They were the Lebanese, according to the information we gather, the Lebanese community put a bunch of money together for him, and they went and according to the information, they said Joe refused the money. So Liberia, when you get position, this is the honest truth. Sincerity might agree with me. Right now, they appoint you to a certain position in Liberia. There are people who will bring you money. Oh, chief, I will give you zero fee. Free. I will give you zinc free. I will build your house, and it will be free. If you're not smart, you fall into the hole. And especially the guy working electricity, there are certain people, business people, who might even go and give him huge amount of money. Oh, I want to get electricity. You never know. And you might have fall for these things too. You never know. So integrity is important. Commitment is important. I see there was a debate from the other side. Everybody said this person is doing good. All of those things. He needs to speak out. The way it's going, if it goes like that for the next maybe 3-4 months, if he doesn't speak out, I think the president should let him go. Because we need electricity. If he doesn't speak out, what are the challenges? If he speaks it out, if it's a real challenges, like maybe because of the dry season, I know rainfalling in Liberia is not like before. Sheridan talks about the dam. I think there was a projection budget for that dam is $1 billion to build a whole thing to electrify Liberia. So if that is the case, Liberia needs to be looking into those directions now, because when you build that dam, in the all grade to that level, Liberia is not BCU. If we're really doing the right thing, the particular LEC team too, if we really want to stick with LEC, we can prioritize that into another private entity too. They will run it well. So there are a lot of, when it comes to electricity in Liberia, right, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of barriers. So if the LEC is not reaching to other people, people might do connections too. And the beginning, Liberia is a dishonest country. People might be climbing on a pole, then cutting the wire then from somewhere it's supposed to be. And then the substation are getting burned. I'm not sure how substation will just get burned like that. But maybe people are not putting a wire into the right place. I'm not electrician, so I got no idea. But I'm thinking that people are not doing the right thing. People climbing on the pole, doing all sorts of things. Power theft is important. I mean, it's crazy too.
Thank you.
So all of those things happen. With that being said, I want to say many thanks to you all for being on the show. Those who are listening to me from the radio land, from Green City, Republic of Baibona, thank you for listening. Those of you listening to me from Nimba County, thank you. Better days are coming. Liberia will be better. Let's keep talking. And one day, Liberia will rise and we say, yes, we have a country. We will not be a loose society, but we will be an organic society where rules and regulations, laws are respected and followed. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, the man from the Green City. The man tried hard to defend LEC, man, but he not make it. But thank you so much, though. It had to defend Roe, my brother. Chicken White, you had to Peter Black. 70
I'm not defending, guy. I mean, I just talk the truth.
Take us home, yeah, 70.
You're not my brother.
It has been a good show.
Thank you.
I want to say thanks to our followers. Thanks to all of you for following. We appreciate your presence always. We'll be back again tomorrow at the same time, same hour to discuss training issues. Again, thank you guys so much. 70, you can close us.
Thank you, CEO. I mean, the show, though I wasn't here from the beginning, but I think it was a good show. And all we want is good for our country. And we urge the electricity men to dial up. Like Sam said, he brought a very good resume with the experience and what have you, but I think he need to dial up. But with the issue of saying, he being honor man, for me, I don't want to speak to that. Because when people are becoming lazy in professional places, sometimes too, when proud in golf, and people, that's how it is. When you see everybody praising you, you feel that you moving. Because for one, sometimes arrogance come in because that he probably, if we even take same argument to be valid at this point, why is it when he went from the beginning everything was smooth? Then at this point, people are not mind. We are all human beings too now. So that take his argument for the conversation. He's now a technician. He's now an engineer. Probably he's a project person playing the administrative role. And people who are playing the key role in our place are the engineers. So at the end of the day, the man who is taking the glory is the engineer, but he's not, according to his saying now. But when arrogance come in, how do you have a smooth working relationship? But all we can say is he got a boy in his coat because he's the head of the petition. Everything that come in, at the end of the day, he take the responsibility. So he needs to tell the Liberian people what's his challenge, if it's the issue of budgetary allotment, so that but I know he got the money. And because CEO, there are institutions in Liberia that when it comes to donor funding, is huge, regardless of, I mean, some of the cut down from maybe USA. I think so far USA, when it comes to one of the huge portfolio in our country, the whole multilateral and bilateral organizations, USAID was one, but then there are other like the Kuwait Fund. You got the Arab, how they call it, Arab or Wetin stuff. All the one and they are there. LEC, they are making a lot of money. It's just the usage of the money to be implemented. That's the problem. So for me, you got work to do. You really got work to do. Liberia is just small country. 47,000 square mile is just a little country. You do your calculation just by county, you could just, because like Nima alone, in the entire country, when you even do your calculation, if you go and do your research of the number of dam in Liberia, CEO, you get to know that there's no reason Liberia should even be suffering for electricity. The number of garbage in Liberia, we could even use that, don't waste them. But innovation has become our problem. But with the resignation, that came out, we wait to hear from the election boss upon her resignation. Reason, sometimes people resign, they give reasons. Sometimes they say, oh, for family, reason. Sometimes they want to go on break. But professionally, sometimes you won't state why you are resigning. But we are hopeful to hear what's the reason behind her resignation. But on the overall, the show was good. Thank you. I mean, I was heading home while I was following you people. It was a good show. Mr. Balera, firing man. So, when he meant it, he take it. And that's very good because intellectually is strong.
Yeah,
law enforcer.
I get a man. I got
any with people of Baibuna and all of that. So yeah, so the Green City and all the one, and so that's
you asked a member of representative, he said police director, and he said that
he didn't talk. It took more than 23 seconds before the.
All right, guys. Yeah, good night. Thanks for following, guys.
Good night. Don't move on. My brother will be better.